And here we go. It's a Friday, and as we head into the weekend, this weekend is certainly going to be a lot better than last weekend and the washout that we had on Sunday. Now, I'm trying to remember last weekend, Saturday, did we start getting, I think we started getting some of the bands, later on Saturday, right, Fester?
First bands I remember were Friday night, then it was a little lull Saturday morning, and then it just came in all Saturday, all Sunday.
Oh, yeah, because last Friday, the radio station got struck by lightning.
Yeah.
And it fried a whole bunch of crap here. Yeah, last Friday, so exactly a week ago, it was like 6:20 p.m. And you hear about lightning strikes and houses getting hit and stuff getting torched. Well, yeah, it was last Friday. It was late afternoon drive. I think it was like 6:20 p.m. And our tower behind the radio station, what is it, like 150 feet high or whatever? We have this tower back there. And if you're driving down 4th Street near Gandy and 4th, you'll see we have a tower behind the, where Glory Days is. Look back in that area, and you'll see a tower. And that's the tower that takes our signal to our various transmitters. So that's not the tower that our signal comes off of, that we're broadcasting from, but we have these like microwave dishes that then go to the various transmitters that we have for our. How many stations do we have here?
6.
We have 6
Mm-hmm.
for our 6 radio stations to the actual transmitter locations. And lightning struck that bad boy. I mean, just nailed it. And people in the building said it sounded just like the lightning strike from Gilligan's Island, where the weather started getting rough. The weather started getting rough. It's that 1930s Frankenstein castle lightning. Yeah, that's the double strike version, by the way. So I think it sounded just like that. And it knocked all of our stations off the air for almost an hour. Every station off the air. Because the lightning hit the tower in the backyard here. And then it traveled into the building because I was told that our grounding system sucks ass. And that they've known about it for a long time. But they never got it fixed. And
what are the implications of a sucky grounding system?
Well, exactly what happened.
Yeah.
That the lightning is not dispersed and dissipated into the ground. It travels up the wires right back to the building.
Ooh.
And when our engineer came into the building, apparently there was smoking stuff in the electronics room. That there was like smoke coming out of stuff, out of equipment. So you got to be careful, man. Dangerous stuff. Hey, last weekend kind of sucked. This weekend, I think it's supposed to be a whole lot better.
Absolutely, because the kids in Hillsborough County go back to school on Monday. This is the best weekend of the year.
Yeah, let's see. Saturday, tomorrow, we've got a 30% chance of rain and some thunderstorms. That's just normal. Then Sunday, I'm not seeing any chance. So it looks like a decent weekend. I mean, just the normal, maybe scattered showers on Saturday, and then Sunday, it doesn't look like it's showing any rain. And then back to school Monday, there's a, typical 30% chance of rain. So after last weekend, I think we deserve a fairly decent weekend here.
We deserve it.
Yes, we do. Absolutely.
Hey, you know what I saw today for the 3rd day in a row? What does this mean?
I'll tell you what I saw for like a week in a row, and I'll tell you after I hear yours what.
A deer. Looks like about a teenage deer. It's not a baby with the white spots on its butt.
Teenage
I would
Joe,
say,
a deer,
yeah.
a teenage deer.
But this deer is on the median every morning when I drive to work.
Where? Median where?
Right by Sheldon Road, off of Citrus Park.
You know what that is?
What?
That is a reincarnated human that's wishing you well and seeing you off to work.
Oh, I'm sure.
That's one of your loved ones reincarnated.
As a deer. They've come back. As a teenager deer.
Yes.
Okay.
Why would you say it's a teenage deer? I don't think many deer live to teenage years.
Well, no, I mean in deer years.
That would be 13, 14, 15 through 19.
She means
I'm converting.
She means like a not an adult,
Yeah.
but not a toddler.
So you're saying
I don't know a deer lifespan. I'll have to Google
you're
that.
saying like the old dog year adage, which it doesn't work for all breeds. So I think they say a larger dog Well, a lot of people think that, one human year is 7 years in dog years. And I believe that is for large dogs, but
Smaller dogs.
I think 1 year is, 3 to 4 years for a smaller dog.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So
Deers live up to 20 years. I just saw that. So a teenage deer, when I'm saying a teenage deer, I'm
Right,
talking about
right.
not a baby, just above a fawn.
But I guess there could be a teenage deer. Where the hell are you seeing the deer live up to 20 years? In captivity.
Oh, is that in
you
captivity?
gotta read it. In general, deer in the wild live between 6 and 14 years, but can live up to 20 years in captivity. All right, take captivity off if they're standing in the middle of the road.
It just says deer. Up to 20 years.
That's wrong though. So some deer can live up to 20 years in captivity, but in the wild they live between 6 and 14. So listen.
I didn't realize that's a short
You got
life.
13 to 14, which would cover the first couple of teen years. But I would say that a deer living. Why the hell are we talking about deer?
Because I saw
okay,
so 3 days in a row in the morning in the 5 o'clock hour.
That's weird.
And it's on the median, just standing there. And
Same place?
Same exact place. So listen to
Wow.
this. So last night we went to Ford's Garage. I told you that.
Yeah.
And I'm driving home from Ford's Garage with Daviana. And I said, Daviana, you wouldn't believe this. I've seen a deer 2 days in a row. We passed by the same spot. It's right there in the same spot. In the middle.
Are you sure it's a real deer and it's not a statue?
I mean, it's so odd that it's in that exact same place and
thought
it's
you were
not a
gonna
safe place that I'm starting
I
to
thought
wonder.
you were going to say that you had the venison burger at Ford's Garage.
I had the bison burger.
Well, close.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Now, if you saw a buffalo on the side of the
Yeah.
road on your way home, that would have been
That
a
would have
sign.
been.
If you had a big old buffalo in the median at Sheldon Road and wherever the hell. Wow. That is odd, though.
Isn't that odd?
Yeah. Why would it be? So same time?
Same time.
So this morning in the 5 o'clock hour, you're driving into the studio and the deer was standing in the same spot
Yes.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday,
Yes,
today?
3 days in a row, not like on the side of the road where it could easily jump back into the woods, like in a very conspicuous, hard to get to spot.
Yeah, that's a message. You're into all that stuff. That deer's sending you a message. I'm telling you right now, that deer is going to be, that's a reincarnation.
Messages from deers.
Yeah,
What does it mean?
I'm pretty convinced that. Yeah, I'm pretty convinced that that's some kind of friend, loved one that has come back to just kind of check on you as you're driving by to work at 5:30 in the morning, whatever it was.
I just found it. Seeing a deer means good luck and happiness.
How's that working out?
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
It's Friday.
It is.
I'm going with my reincarnated thing. I think that's much more plausible. All right, 6:08. Just getting rolling. Friday morning, MJ Morning Show Q105. Here's Pat with traffic. Q105 MJ with Roxanne and Fester. We have Andrew, the producer. You know, Froggy's been texting me a lot. So, Froggy sent me something last night that I'll probably discuss later on during the morning show. I was just going through a whole pile of early morons in the news. Good stuff today. Well, listen, there's good stuff every day. But today, especially good as far as the morons go. That'll happen in just a few minutes. It's 6:40. So every morning right around 6:40, 6:39 to 6:41, right there. We do early morons of the news and a pretty good pile today. So at the end of every show, if you're a regular listener, that I end the show with, and let's be careful out there. I'm paying homage to one of my favorite TV shows when I was a kid. Michelle and I, then a couple of years ago, watched every single episode. We binged it, and I'm talking about Hill Street Blues. Great, great early 80s television series about Chicago cops. It was a kind of groundbreaking, story arc-wise, and just kind of groundbreaking television. Won a crap load of Emmys and everything. So Hill Street Blues, and at the end of every roll call, while he was alive, because the Sergeant Phil Esterhaus, who did roll call, he actually, in real life, he died after a couple of seasons, so they had to replace him. But at the end of every roll call, he would say, hey, 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 and let's be careful out there. So I kind of just ripped that off. I kind of just co-opted it. And at the end of every MJ morning show, I don't necessarily go, hey, 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 hey. And he would have a little, kind of a different little intro to it, but it always ended with, and let's be careful out there. So I end the show with that. Now, I wish that this individual had heeded my advice, and I'm kind of doing the story because it has a Super Bowl ring to it. And I'm not talking about like a Super Bowl ring. I mean the physical ring that the players that win the Super Bowl get, or those associated with the team. But I know that I've seen this woman pop up in the news, and kind of the celebrity sites have talked to. TMZ, I know, has had stories about her. It's Ava Hunt, the Chiefs heiress. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I've heard of her.
Yeah.
Lamar Hunt's daughter? Not Lamar, whoever
I don't know who else.
Lamar Hunt was the founder. He's his granddaughter.
Granddaughter?
Yeah.
Anyway, she's, very attractive and obviously quite rich and loaded. I mean, money coming out of her ass, let's just be honest here. But she fell off a mountain.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Was she taking a selfie?
Well, it's funny you bring that up, because I was going to also kind of bring that aspect back up, because earlier this week we had another story about the ridiculous number of deaths, people taking selfies and dying while taking dangerous selfies. No, but if you do a search online for Ava Hunt, she's the daughter of the Chiefs chief executive officer, and she's a hottie. I mean, she's very attractive, and she fell off a mountain. So I was just thinking when I saw the story, that my let's be careful out there is something that you can really use. I mean, they're not just hollow words when I say at the end of the show, and let's be careful out there. I mean, she should have taken this advice. Listen to this. Kansas City Chiefs heiress Ava Hunt, total smoke show, underwent emergency surgery after falling down a mountain during a hike. Her mother announced the scary news earlier this week via her Instagram story. She had a picture of her daughter and then a little caption. This was one of the Instagram stories. This little thang, Thang, fell down the mountain today on a hike and went to the ER for surgery on a deep wound. It's been a long day. Praise God she's in recovery and already smiling. Please pray for a quick and complete recovery. That's the Instagram story that her mother, Tavia Shackles, posted on Instagram. Can you imagine that?
That's awful.
Yeah. Fell down a freaking mountain. Anyway, her father is the Kansas City Chiefs CEO, and of course, you can't talk about the Kansas City Chiefs without mentioning
Taylor
Tay-Tay.
Swift.
Yes, Tay-Tay.
Yeah, you can.
Tay-Tay.
You really can talk about the team and not mention her. Yeah, Clark Hunt is the CEO of the team.
Yeah.
His father was the original team founder.
There you go. They started the damn thing. So she...
What's his name again?
Clark.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hunt.
Yeah, Clark Hunt.
So
Right. His brother Michael has nothing to do with the organization.
I didn't see where she fell down the mountain. So I was looking to see if they've updated the story, but they didn't originally mention.
Yeah, what mountain? There's a bunch of mountains.
I realize that there are mountains all over the place.
Where
but
the hell's the nearest mountain to Kansas City?
Every story. Well, obviously she was on summer vacation somewhere.
It's a pretty flat place.
All right, see if there's an update on the story, because I've got like 2 stories that I printed out, and neither says what mountain she fell off.
Fuji.
Oh, really? Where'd she?
I don't know. Everest.
Hold on. You mean Fiji?
No, Fuji.
Well, she should be climbing a mountain in Fiji as well.
I meant Fiji. I meant Fiji.
Well, no, but Mount Fuji's in Japan.
I wasn't trying to get all tied up. I was trying to make a
Fiji,
dumb joke.
Fuji. Listen, both are acceptable.
I should have
guess.
said Everest.
Yeah. She's been falling around the mountain when she comes. Remember that old little
Yeah.
thing?
I knew there
She'll
was
be
a.
coming round the mountain is the original, right?
I knew there was a mountain nursery rhyme out there. I was trying to think of it.
She'll be falling down the mountain when she comes.
When she comes.
She'll be falling down the mountain when she comes.
She'll be falling down the mountain.
But
All right.
none of the stories say what freaking mountain she fell off of.
I clicked on 5 of them
wait
now.
a second.
None of them.
Maybe it was Witch Mountain.
Possibly.
Yeah, maybe she was trying to escape Witch Mountain. That was it.
Was she at Disney and she tried to get off the middle of the ride?
Oh,
Space Mountain?
Space Mountain. She fell off Space Mountain.
Andrew, what's the other mountain roller coaster?
Well,
at Disney?
Splash Mountain
Yeah.
isn't a thing anymore.
That
Big
closed.
Thunder Mountain.
Big Thunder Mountain.
Yeah, because they canceled Splash Mountain
Yes.
because of racist overtones.
I've always been very suspicious of water.
So, like I say, folks, let's be careful out there. Don't fall down a freaking mountain. But I really do want to know what
Me too.
what mountain she fell off of.
All right, so does this beautiful woman now have this atrocious scar somewhere down her
Oh,
body?
she's totally disfigured.
Yeah, I mean-
and I heard that she said, "Don't look at me. I'm hideous." I believe, I have no idea where her injury was, but I don't know if she's permanently disfigured. And I don't know if she went from a 10 to a 2.5. I don't know if that happened. So,
Listen, her corpse left in a field wouldn't be a 2.5.
hey,
She's-
Fester, I mentioned this earlier in the week,
Yeah.
and I just didn't get around to it. And I was going through my used pile. I'm sorry, my unused pile. I was going through my pile of stuff that I just didn't get to. And I thought this was important enough to bring up here, that one of your favorite stores, which has closed locations locally. In fact, the Britain Plaza location closed. Are you aware of any other Big Lots locations that have closed around the Tampa Bay area? Like, what's the Big Lots where you've consistently dumped off crap behind the building?
The Big Lots location that I frequent
Yes, is what? Where?
is Bears Avenue and Florida Avenue.
And is that location still open?
Still open?
All right, that's still open. Well, I wonder if it's going to be open for long, because when I saw this, I thought of you.
Okay.
I'm clearly not a selfish individual, because I thought of you when I saw this story, that Big Lots plans to close over 300 stores.
Yeah.
Yep, Big Lots, the Ohio-based big box discount retailer with nearly 1,400 stores nationwide, is planning to close up to 315 additional stores in some 3 dozen states. Quick, Roxanne, how many states is 3 dozen states?
3 dozen states is 48. 36.
Yes.
I was trying to get to my 15.
Good on you.
Yeah, 12 plus 12 plus 12 is 36, not 48.
I was trying to get to my 50 states.
All right.
36.
So, Fester, I don't know. I don't have a list here. I don't know if the location that you love at Florida and Bears or Beers is going to be closed.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
I have fallen out of love with Big Lots.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, maybe that's why they're closing more than 300 stores.
And it's not Big Lots, it's me. But it's a mess.
You know what? I'd love to open up a store called Big Sluts.
Okay. What are you going to?
I'm still working on the business model for that.
What'd you sell
working
there?
on that.
I'm still working on what's going to be stocked there. But
It sounds like I'm your target customer, so I'm dying to know.
big sluts instead of big lots.
I'm working on a storefront called Big Slugs. We're
Yeah.
a little bit more slow paced.
Oh, very slow paced.
Keep that salt away from us.
Everything's very, 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 very slow. All right, folks, I've got early morons in the news next. I've got a really, really, really good pile of early morons in the news next in minutes here on the MJ Morning Show. If you're making a move. You know, when you think about it, this really is great morons in the news music, Fester.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it works very well. It just kind of screams morons. Now, today's Morons in the News segment is very, like, automotive-centric. We're like car and automotive heavy. Yeah, for whatever reason, on our early Morons in the News. I've got some local or some Florida. I have some other parts of the country. Let me start off in Whitefish Bay, Wisconsin. That's Wisconsin. Police there, I'm sure that's a hell of a busy police department. Whitefish Bay, Wisconsin. Cops there say that they clocked a woman doing 60 in a 30. So that's twice the posted speed limit. So the traffic stop started off, well, fairly normally, but then the thing just right off the rails, right? 35-year-old Mallory Griffin repeatedly ignored commands from the police. Dash cam video shows that the woman from Illinois driving in Wisconsin was just like stopping and then taking off from the cops. Then they'd stop her again. She'd take.
Wait, so they'd pull her over and they'd start to walk up to her and she'd speed away?
She'd just take off.
Oh my gosh, that's ballsy.
Then they'd chase her again. Then she'd stop and then take off. But then there's more. Then she wouldn't stop laughing at them. So she took off. Then they'd chase her again, stop down the street. They'd approach the car again. She'd take off again.
Sounds like they're exhibiting a lot of patience with her.
Oh, my God. So then she just starts laughing at the cops.
Like a movie villain.
What the hell is the matter with her? So they finally took her into custody. So she's taking off. She's laughing at the cops. It's like a game. It's like, when you're chasing a little kid and the kid just runs away from mom or dad, and then the kid thinks it's funny and is laughing the whole time. So that's what this woman is doing. Mallory Griffin won't stop laughing. So she's taken back to the police station, and the officer asks if she has any bruises. And she says, "Do you want me to get undressed? Do you want to see it?"
I mean, he did ask.
Yeah.
That seems like a reasonable response.
So she's finally taken into custody. She's laughing at the cop. She's taking off, then stopping, taking off, then stopping. They get her back to the station, and then she says, "Hey, you want to see it? You want me to get undressed? You want to see it?"
She's just taunting them.
Did the officer say yes?
Yeah, and then she's wearing like these tight yoga pants with a very busy pattern. How do you feel about that, Roxanne? Tight yoga pants.
You're talking to someone who's doing that right this second.
Yeah, because
I'm a living, breathing example of that.
I don't keep track of your wardrobe, but sometimes
I think you do.
But sometimes you wear legging. Are you wearing leggings or yoga pants today? Now, do you have do you have solid colors, or do you have very busy, very colorful varieties as well?
I have very busy, colorful ones that I wear around the house.
Okay.
That I wouldn't wear in public, but they're really, really soft. So they're almost, if I wanted to sleep in them, I could, but I don't like that much constriction when I sleep. But they're really comfortable, but they're too busy to wear in public.
What do you mean they're too busy to wear in public?
Because
you think you would confuse people and make them dizzy?
Yeah, they're just really bright and colorful. So my kids love them.
Are they neon?
They're bright primary colors, different patterns.
There's video back at the police station of this 35-year-old Mallory Griffin is continuing to laugh. Now she's doing yoga poses inside the police. This is all caught on body cam. The cops are still rolling the body cam on her.
So far, this sounds like she's a really good time, and this is just a little bit of a misunderstanding.
Before doing the sobriety test, she starts doing yoga poses. And then listen, the police body cam audio catches her saying, "Can you do what I can do?" And then she starts doing yoga poses. "Can you do this? And you're a cop. And I haven't worked out in 3 years," is what she says. And she's doing one-footed yoga poses. Anyway, she was given multiple citations for operating a vehicle while intoxicated, resisting arrest, speeding, and not having a registered vehicle. Man, she's just an automotive party, isn't she? Is that nice?
Yeah, she's tree posing it up.
Just laughing.
I love her.
All right. Listen to this. This is here in Florida. This is, Flagler County. So other side of the state. Other side of the state, north of Orlando, other side of the state on the coast. Flagler County, sheriff's office there, they had, a deputy on I-95 and pulled the driver over for speeding. The driver passed out not one, not two, but 3 times during the traffic stop.
That's not a good sign.
No, that's not a way that you're going to get a warning either. I don't think you're going to, you know what, this is your lucky day. I'm going to give you a break.
Yeah.
Slow it down. I'm going to give you a warning right now. No. The Flagler County Sheriff's Office said that deputies on I-95 pulled over a speeding driver, and the driver passed out 3 times during the traffic stop. Deputies reported smelling marijuana in the car, and the driver, Anthony James Jr., appeared very, very nervous. James confessed that there was marijuana in the vehicle. However, a subsequent search also revealed not only the ganja, the marijuana, but also he had some oxycodone pills in the car. That can quickly turn into a felony, right? If they're not from a legal prescription. Also had a gun in the car. After his arrest, James, who's from Miami Gardens, down in Miami-Dade, stated that he felt sick, couldn't remain standing. He was taken to the hospital. Oh, the old take me to the hospital. Oh, I'm ill.
Listen,
the old, what, you think you're gonna get some sympathy?
The guy passed out 3 times in one traffic stop. Take him to the hospital.
So they took him to the hospital. Doctors discovered that he was suffering from some kind of severe medical complication.
Yeah.
All right. So he's speeding. He's speeding, has severe medical complications, falls asleep 3 times during a traffic stop. Yeah, I don't know what his, if he has a record. I don't know if he was like a felon in possession of a handgun. That's not in the story. But you got a lot going on. Falling asleep, speeding.
I feel like it's hard to be really nervous.
Oxys.
You described him as nervous when he was pulled over.
Yeah,
guns.
yeah.
It's hard to be nervous and also fall asleep. They're
3
usually
times.
2 conflicting emotions. Like, maybe you're so nervous you pass out. Well, maybe that's what happened. But like, if you're just like dozing off.
So they're not mutually exclusive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it feels like if you're nervous, you're like amped up.
Yeah. Hey, listen to this. This is another Florida story here. Guy accused of threatening to blow up Orlando and Winter Park restaurants.
That's lovely.
What's the restaurant?
What are you saying, that it's acceptable if it's a certain restaurant that he wants to blow up?
No, blowing up restaurants as a blanket statement is unacceptable.
Yep.
However, some restaurants might be a little more acceptable.
Oh, will you stop it? A Florida guy indicted earlier this week. Investigators accused him of terrorism in Orange County. According to investigators, the man, Hashim Yunus Hashem Hanahen, 43, left letters at a variety of places in Orange County here in Florida, each of which threatened that he would explode everything here in whole America. I don't know if
Whole of America.
I don't know if English is his first language. Mr. Hashem Yunus Hashem Hana.
The last time I heard that phrase, whole of America or whole of a country.
No. You're adding an extra word. He left notes at various restaurants in the Orlando area saying that he would explode everything here in whole America.
Okay.
It doesn't even make freaking sense.
No, it doesn't.
It depends which version of whole he used.
You want to know where he left notes threatening to blow up the place?
Yes.
Locations were Starbucks in Orlando, Starbucks in Winter Park, McDonald's in Maitland. All right down I-4, in addition, investigators said that Hanahan did knowingly and willfully damage and attempt to damage some energy facility's property. What is this guy, a sleeper cell?
Yeah.
What is he?
He got his cup of coffee. Now he's going to go scout his next location.
What is he going to blow? What is he damaging? He wants to blow up a substation for like I don't know, FPL or something, or whatever. What power company do they have in Orlando? I don't know. This is nuts. The indictment doesn't specify what that entailed as far as trying to willfully damage and attempt to damage an energy facility. Because the violation involves an allegation of terrorism, he's required to forfeit any assets related to the offense. He faces 4 counts of threatening to use an explosive
Hashem.
and a charge of destruction of an energy facility. I didn't even know that was a formal charge. Destruction of an energy facility.
Yeah, they made that one up on the fly.
They need to They need to have that be a thing.
That's a nutty freaking story. He wants to blow up the whole of America, whatever the hell he's talking about. I don't know if I don't think he's a citizen. Why don't you, put this guy in jail, then deport his ass out? Let him do his
Bye-bye.
time and then throw this guy out of the country. All right, 6:52 at the MJ Morning Show. Hey, that's why we call it early morons in the news. And the 7 o'clock hour starts next here on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. Stand by. Oh. The soothing sounds of Boccherini, a fine Italian composer. I'm sure you've heard this piece, this movement many times, but had no idea who the composer was. Boccherini. Roxanne, you made an observation, which I want to, I think it's very accurate. You know, I didn't realize this until you brought this up in an email. And are you exercising? Are you doing squats?
Yeah, you just screwed me on that. I'm not playing a song because I need to hit 10 minutes. And I was running up and down the stairs for 8 minutes. And now then I walk back and I'm going to go running up and down the hall. And then, nope, we're back.
I wish I had the time and flexibility to go exercise during the breaks.
Well, see, if you exercise more, you would have flexibility. We could go do stretches together in
I'm
there.
working furiously and frantically to put the show and the next segment together during the breaks. And you guys are out lollygagging.
No, I'm revving up.
Yeah, I'll have you know that I am not exercising during the breaks. So,
you know what I am going to do during one break? I want to hear about the observation, but there's supposedly a massage chair in this building now. Did you hear about that?
There is.
Yeah, they're firing employees left and right, but we've got a new pool table and a massage chair.
Dude, listen, I would trade that. I would trade our receptionist for that massage chair any day.
You've sat in the massage chair?
I've seen it. I haven't sat in it.
Well, don't break it.
You know what? And if I do, what are they going to do? What are they going to do?
Well, just ask Froggy. I don't know.
I'll hang out with him in the morning.
7:02 at the MJ Morning Show. Hey, let me do the CVS story.
Oh no! What about my observation?
Well, I'm going to get to that.
Okay.
Let me.
I didn't want you to forget. I didn't want you to
You are
get
literally
distracted.
you're like doing
almost done.
squats.
I'm almost done.
Hey, can you get this on camera?
Yeah, I mean,
Hey, Andrew, put MJTV on. I got Roxanne popping a squat.
yeah, it's the only camera we need on right now, Andrew, is Roxanne
Is
Calisthenics.
Roxanne doing squats as she stands, and you have your hand on the microphone, boom, and you're taking the mic up and down
Up
with
and down.
you.
She's
Yeah.
a pro's
Yeah,
pro,
I
man.
am.
Up and
She,
down, up
she-
and down,
she's
up and
doing
down.
squats. She does
Yep.
leg lifts.
Yep. Okay, we hit 10 minutes. I'm good. All right, back to business. It's better than a smoke break,
Hold
right?
on, MJ.
What is
she,
it?
She literally has her phone on a timer. She literally hit 10 minutes.
Yeah. Hey,
She's
take
absolutely right.
Fester's camera.
Yeah,
Hold that
look,
up. Yeah.
Roxanne, 10 minutes.
But
Good for you, girl.
I got to be honest. That doesn't look like very strenuous or even like mid-level. That looks
well-
like some light work you just did there.
It was very light work. You should have seen me in the stairwell.
Well, no, that's not necessarily good. I
No,
mean,
no, no.
You gotta
I-
get your
I know that.
You got to get your heart rate
yeah,
going.
she was in the
I was
stairwell
in the
running stairs.
Yes. Thank
All
you,
right.
Fester.
And then you don't play, whatever song we had coming up, because this is usually a
Look,
song break.
Would you
And-
rather me go like
Well, it's not-
that's too distracting to
Ooh,
the show.
no,
but
it's
if
not.
I'm just
That's actually
doing
great.
if I'm just doing some squats, it's not as distracting to the show, but I'm still like maintaining some level of something. So I hit my 10 minutes. That's all I needed.
Listen, after some breaks, sometimes I play, one song in a row.
One.
Yeah, one song in a row on Hot Hits Q105. So sometimes I'll play the one song in a row, and other times I come right back just with a rejoiner bed, and I don't feel like playing a song, So one song in a row. Yeah, this time I decided not to play a song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
MJ Morning Show, you give us 2 hours, we'll give you one song.
You give me no song, I'll give you 10 squats.
Yeah.
All right.
The Yak Watch never stops. You give us 4 hours and I might play a song.
Maybe one.
Yeah. All right, listen, folks are here for the content, not for sunglasses at night, okay? Let's be honest.
I'm kind of here for Belinda Carlisle, too.
Ooh, baby, do you know what that's worth? All right. Let me do the CVS story here. This person was caught in the act and then called out in front of other customers and employees. A shopper at a CVS location, this is gross, took a chapstick off a shelf, the lip balm chapstick, used the chapstick on her lips, like did a whole little, I'm doing it on MJTV.
The chapstick wipe around?
The whole, you gotta make your mouth all pursed and everything. You're doing the chapstick. This woman took chapstick off the shelf at a CVS, coated her lips, put the cap back on, and put it right back on the shelf
Oh my
for somebody
gosh.
else to purchase.
That's gross.
That is disgusting. Yep.
You don't know what kind of lip funk she might have.
Would you say lip what?
Funk.
Lip funk. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. So this person, the audio's not that great, but I do have the verbatim. So in a social media clip, this witness who rolled video says, check this out. I'm at CVS, and this girl went into the chapsticks, put the chapstick on her lips, then put it back in the box. So took the chapstick out of the box, put it all over the lips, put it back in the box, right back on the shelf. Oh my. And then somebody buys that. I would hope that somebody would realize, when you buy a chapstick and it's that nice cylindrical, you got the edges on it. I mean, somebody should know, if you're paying attention, you should know that chapstick has been pre-used.
Yeah, sampled.
Yeah.
The box wouldn't be sealed anymore. And
Well,
then
I don't know.
chapstick also has like that sticky tape on its cap.
Hang on a sec. I over the years, and listen, I haven't purchased chapstick in quite some time. I tend to go for the Blistex. The Blistex, especially not really in Florida. I don't really need it, but like when we go out west and we go skiing, I like the Blistex, which comes in the little blue little
Tube.
no, it's not a tube, it's a tub. It's the little jar.
Oh, the finger tub.
Yeah, exactly. The finger tub.
a long time ago.
Yes,
an
and
old friend of ours.
you unscrew the metal cap. The Blistex, that's the one I like, and it's got a little bit of a like a menthol kind of hit to it. It reminds me of my days when I was just chain smoking cool cigarettes. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking.
Yeah.
I never smoked it. I never smoked menthol cools.
But if you,
I see you. If you were going to, though, that would be your choice, right?
Oh yeah,
I'm
I'm a menthol cool smoker.
He
over
strikes me
here.
as a menthol guy.
Yeah.
So, old friend of ours got me hooked on Carmex.
Oh, that's another. Oh, BJ.
Oh yeah.
BJ
had him ever.
Yeah, when you say Carmex.
Boy, BJ used it every day.
Oh, MJ and BJ days. BJ.
He was dipping
Man.
into a tub of Carmex.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. Him and table salt. He had salt shakers all over the place. Would just shake salt in his mouth. Anyway, that's right. Carmex. Carmex is the yellow and red tube.
Yeah, now they have flavors of Carmex.
Oh, really?
They're pretty good. Pretty good.
Oh, you know what? You open up a chain of Car Mexican restaurants. Car Mexican. So you've got tortilla flavored lip balm.
So you have Carmex.
Yeah.
The restaurant, the lip balm
Yep.
next to a Carmex.
Oh, there you go. Carmex.
Get them all.
Anyway, is that gross?
Yeah.
This woman catches another woman opening up a box. Oh, I was talking about the packaging. So I think I've seen chapstick with the cardboard backing and the clear plastic blister pack and then inside. So I think I've seen, and that'll hang from one of those hang hooks. But I guess also chapstick comes in like little rectangular boxes.
Sure, because they put them on the stick,
right.
on the pegboard.
No. I just talked about that. That's the cardboard backing. Oh, do they have the cardboard backing with the box on it, and then the box flap opens up? And do they not have like the plastic blister pack anymore, where you can?
They got it all.
All right. Anyway, I'm not I'm not up to speed on chapstick packaging.
That's on you more than anybody else.
But that's just gross. And then this woman is called out in front of employees, and then on video zooming into the woman while she's like, I think she's in line at the pharmacy or something, or so, and like zooming in. This woman. Do you have some of the audio?
This is the guy who posted the video.
All right, so it's a guy. I thought it was a woman. All right, here we go. All right, hit it.
And she put it back on the shelf.
Hang on, man. This is terrible audio here. Hold on.
No, she put it on her lips. We saw her do it. She put it on her lips, put it back in her box, and put it there. They got cameras. You can look at it.
Yep. And then she's in line at the pharmacy.
I saw you. I recorded it. Come on, dude. That's sick. It's sick, buddy. It's sick. It's sick.
All right, so there's some of the audio of
The
that.
confrontation.
Yeah.
That is really,
So
really
she's
gross.
kind of like gaslighting him, it sounds like. Yeah.
Well, no, that's not really the definition of gaslighting.
She kind of was.
Right.
She's guilty. She's guilty of
she's
making him
guil-
seem crazy.
Yes, that's exactly what she's doing.
I don't know. I don't classify it as gaslighting. All right. Anyway,
He has his own dictionary
Yeah,
he goes by.
yeah. I have my own psychological
I got to move
dictionary.
on to the Roxanne observation. And Roxanne, I think you kind of nailed this. I kind of forgot about this, but there's a story that you saw, I saw as well, that's circulating about a new study that explains why we yawn or scratch ourselves when we see others do it. It's like the sympathetic yawn.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like you've always heard this, yawning is contagious. Somebody yawns and then it triggers you to yawn. It's happened to all of us. And, listen, the story on its own is good, but I think there's a more pressing issue here because, Roxanne, you pointed out that Fester has not been yawning as much.
No.
There was a couple of month stretch where Fester, you were yawning incessantly. I mean, during the show, you're just going, and you don't even realize it. But we would watch you, Roxanne, in a 5-minute span over the last couple of months. How many times would we see Fester yawn?
In a 5-minute span.
Yeah, I mean, just as an example.
As an example, I would say, I don't know, 7 times in a 5-minute
it was
span.
it was a lot.
Well, I'll have you guys know.
It was a lot. But what Roxanne just noticed when she saw this story, Brain Study explains why we yawn or scratch when we see other people do it. Roxanne, when she sent me this link, also made a note that she's noticed that you have not been yawning as much.
Yeah.
And I'm like, ooh, that's true. Do you have an explanation?
Yes, I do. I'm glad you pointed
Is
this
this
out.
going to be some smart-ass explanation, or
I
is
don't
this a real...
appreciate that at all. I don't appreciate you just painting with a wide brush
Oh.
what my explanation is going to be before you even hear it.
All right, go ahead.
I have become a master of lockjaw yawning. I
What
still
is-
yawn all the time.
What?
But watch this. I can lock my jaw like this. I get a whole yawn in. Get a whole yawn in. The
Really?
air moves in, the air moves out. The mouth does not gape open. So you guys can stereotype me and pigeonhole me as a yawner.
But then is that a
And
yawn?
The air moving in, air moving out. The actual mouth opening isn't the yawn. It's the airflow that's the yawn. And I take naps during commercial breaks, now in the office instead of on the couch or in the studio. So there.
So
Is it really though a yawn if you don't gapingly open your mouth?
Well, sure. It's the influx of air. Your chest still expands. You get the oxygen boost that you need, and you exhale it.
Okay. I'm going to try it. I'm
But
going to try
yawn-
your method because
listen.
I was yawning quite a bit the other day. I yawn like as much as you do in a typical day, but it was just a one-day yawn day. I was tired. But now that I know your trick, I'm going to try to not.
Why are we
move
talking
my-
about
I
this?
know.
Ugh.
is this an ample explanation? Are you happy with his explanation?
I yawn all the time. I can sleep anywhere. Anywhere.
So-
We were in traffic on the Howard Franklin Bridge the other day, MJ. I was thinking about taking a snooze for a couple of minutes.
So what you're claiming is
I
that.
did it. I did it. That was awesome.
See?
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I told
Hold
you.
on, hold on. Do it again.
Well, I mean, it has to be. It can't be a forced yawn. Somebody yawn. Okay, somebody yawn. Yawn.
Do it again.
Okay.
Bow,
Okay.
bow, bow.
So you don't open your mouth. But it's called I invented the name of it.
I'm doing it.
Look, it's a lock.
Yeah,
I
it's
call
a
it,
lockjaw yawn.
I
It's
named
fun.
it the lockjaw yawn.
Okay.
That
And
way,
you still get that big whoosh in
And-
your chest
and then
that
if
you need.
If you slyly put your hand
Yeah.
like over your nose and mouth, you can
Yeah.
actually be in a meeting or talking
Yes.
with other people, and they'll never know that you're yawning right in their face.
This is going to come in handy.
I know.
Whoa.
I've changed the yawn game.
Yeah, it
See?
works.
There
It
you
works.
go.
Okay, the key is, MJ, if you want to do it too, you have to jut your lower jaw forward
Out.
a little bit. Yes.
Right. That,
Okay.
because
It's like I'm in yawn
But
physical
then you
therapy
look
right
like
now.
you got this horrific underbite, like you
Oh, it's
belong
okay.
in the movie The Deliverance.
It's
Only-
less obstructive than a big old gaping
Yeah.
yawn that
And-
like where you're a great white shark dropping your jaw down.
the jaw protrusion is only for a couple of
Yeah,
seconds.
yes.
And the odds are that I
And-
may not be looking at your face at that particular second.
This is a revolution. This is a new yawn.
This is the biggest change in yawns.
All right. So,
Fester's teaching a yawn physical therapy class right now as we speak.
well,
I yawn all the time. I've yawned 16 times during today's show.
the base story here is that if you ever wonder why you find yourself, yawning after someone yawns, or
Yeah.
you itch yourself, scratch yourself, whatever you want to call it, when somebody else scratches themselves, this contagious thing. Well, there's some science here. And since we've eaten up this entire segment with
Lockjaw yawn.
stealth yawning,
The LJY.
when we get back, I'll give you 1 minute, a 1 minute rundown on why you yawn when someone else yawns and why you will scratch yourself when somebody else has an itch and they scratch themselves. All right, hold on.
Ooh.
We'll get to that and a whole lot more. Oh, do you have frequent nightmares? If you have frequent nightmares, you could be suffering from this. That's coming up in just a minute. Anyway, there is a lot of crap coming up, including some inside scoop. The NFL denies facial recognition use at the stadiums. And there's a whole rumor going around that the NFL is going to be using facial recognition on all the fans going into the stadiums this year. I have some insight on the Bucks and facial recognition. We'll get to that coming up. Hey, that is just scratching the surface. That is just a fraction of what's coming up. Next, and we start an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ. Next, stand by. If you're the latter end of that this morning, just running a few minutes late, but still, you still get an hour and 20 minutes plus of nonstop MJ starting right now. All right, so picking up on what we were talking about with the yawning, and, well, Fester's had an issue for the last couple of months where we were noticing that he was yawning. I mean, during live segments on the show, Fester's just just constantly yawning. And now Fester is telling us that he's still yawning, but he figured out a way not to essentially fall under our scrutiny.
I just draw less attention to myself.
Fester is doing stealth yawning where he's able to lockjaw yawn and yawn without actually, it's like an inner yawn.
Yeah, this is a great technique.
This is, you know what? It's deceptive. It's stealth-like.
I'm doing it right now. I'm doing it right now.
Yeah. Anyway, so...
Unbelievable.
Isn't it? It's life-changing.
Oh, you can't tell I'm talking like this. You can't even tell
I'm not talking while I'm doing it.
Obviously.
I don't know if this is going to help or hurt my TMJ, but I'm going to try it.
Try it.
Well, here's the deal. The reason why this got brought up in the first place is because there is a new study out that explains why we yawn when other people yawn. It explains why we will scratch ourselves when we see other people scratch themselves. It turns out, and I'm just going to do a hit and run on this thing. I'm not going to get into 2 hours of science, but scientists are realizing that our brains are wired essentially to, what are you doing over there?
I'm trying to get you guys to start scratching. Look at me.
Oh, I just saw you vibrating like you were having convulsions over there.
She's scratching her arms.
I can't see. We've got no line of sight in the studio.
Fester can
I
see
can't
me.
see that you're.
No, not me. Scratch yourself. Scratch yourself.
I can't see that you're touching yourself over there.
Can you hear it? This is what they do. Some of this on ASMR. You can kind of hear the scratching.
Let me finish the science here.
Go ahead.
That we're wired to play the imitation game, is what it comes down to. That our brains are wired to play this intricate game of imitation. And now scientists have actually mapped the neurological pathway, and they've shown the science on why we repeat what we see other people do. The chameleon effect, there are neural pathways, so now they have the science. And they've figured out the imitative circuits which lie in our brain.
Okay, deep question for you.
Yeah.
Just reading this article about,
Hang on a minute. And now, deep thoughts with Roxanne.
I was reading a story about how we are losing so much of our cognitive ability because of our phones, i.e., we can't find our way to someone's house without our GPS. If our phone dies, we might get lost.
You can't find your ass with a flashlight these days.
Right, because you rely so much on these. And you can't solve a problem
without... Is that a saying,
without...
by the way?
I like it.
A flashlight really wouldn't help because your ass is behind you. I mean, even if it is well illuminated, you wouldn't know.
You can kind of hold it and look behind. You look over your shoulder.
Depends how big your ass is.
Yeah. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, and we can't judge people as well as we used to because we are staring at a phone and not picking up on those nonverbal cues. So do these things, the yawning mimicking and the scratching mimicking, fall into the category of they might go away at some point if we stare at our phone too often?
I just can't take you seriously. I don't like pronouncing the T in often. I like the silent.
Often.
I like the I like often. I'm an often person.
Often with your head.
I'm not an often person. Anyway, listen, I got what you're saying. All right, the other interesting thing that I teased here is if you have frequent nightmares, you could have this issue going on. Again, science. Lonely people have more frequent nightmares. If you're lonely, for whatever reason, your brain starts, conjuring up all the spooky, scary stuff while you're sleeping in your REM sleep. If you're feeling lonely, it might just do more than the conscious mood that you might feel when you're awake, but sleep disruption is a real thing. New study finds that people who experience more loneliness tend to have more frequent and intense. I'm talking about intense nightmares.
Have I told you my trick for nightmares?
Oh, jeez.
You have a trick?
This is a good one. I'm serious.
And now, Remedies with Roxanne.
Goes back to when I took an acting class, right? You have to get into character for, I was playing a really awful person, Michelle Pfeiffer's character in White Oleander. So she's like a sociopath. narcissist.
Not familiar.
Okay. She's a
Is that a
sociopath.
movie? Is that a movie?
Yes, it is. It's really good. It's dark.
What do you say? White supremacist? What is it?
White Oleander.
Oh, White Oleander.
Yes, White Oleander is based on a book.
I'm sorry.
And Michelle Pfeiffer's character is an awful person, right? And so that's who I was playing. And so to get into character, my acting teacher is so cool. She's
Whatever
like,
happened to Michelle Pfeiffer? Is she still alive?
Wait,
Alive?
didn't I just
Yeah.
read something? Was it Michelle Pfeiffer who's going to be in a Yellowstone sequel? I think I did read that. Okay. You're taking me off track, MJ.
Is she still hot?
Yeah.
Why do you have to say it like that? She's a beautiful,
Yeah.
classically
No,
beautiful
I'm just saying that
woman.
my memory of Michelle Pfeiffer, she's smoking.
She's 66 years old. I'm looking
Yeah.
at some current pictures of
Oh
her
yeah,
on.
she looks
She's-
great.
She's
Yeah.
fantastic.
She looks fantastic.
Here's where she starred in that movie,
She's a beauty.
White Supremacist.
Yep.
No, white lily. What is it?
Oleander.
Oh, that's the flour Michelle uses to make great Southern buttermilk biscuits. Got to use white lily, self-rising, green label. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so she played this mother, Ingrid, a terrible mother in this
Okay,
movie.
so what's the point?
So the point is, my acting teacher was like, you have to stay in character all day to do this performance. So I would the whole day, I just had nasty thoughts about everyone. And, if I was driving next to someone in the car, I'd look over it and be like, what a loser. And that's not me. That's not me at all.
Is that method acting?
That's method acting.
It's method,
right?
Wow.
Yeah,
That's not me.
Look at that.
But I had the
Nasty thought. They
Nasty
can
thoughts.
call you Miss Roxanne Wilder if you're nasty.
Ugh.
Yeah.
But that's not generally me in real life, So, but I'm telling you, I had the best, most powerful, amazing dreams when I would try to work to be that character. Taking it a step further,
Okay.
I generally have good dreams. I'm not like a nightmare person. Occasionally I do. We all do.
Okay.
Depends what you eat, spicy food. I think some of it is because the aggression we get to release on this show.
I'm not releasing aggression on the show. Are you? You come here to release aggression?
Of course
What
I
is this,
do.
like a daily rage room for you?
This seems like it's just been therapy for Roxanne.
Is this
is
your?
Of course
minutes
it
of-
is.
Is this your rage room?
All right.
You verbally smash stuff?
Wait, I mean, is it not?
Hey, speaking of food, can I bring something up? Speaking of food, and folks, advertising can be very, very effective. All right, I'm the first one to sit here and tell you advertising is very, very effective, and I'm not just one that advertises products like sponsors here on the MJ Morning Show. Like an example, like Westfall Roofing, which is a great sponsor on the show. With all of the rain that we just had, with all of the 10, 20 inches of rain, if your roof, seriously, if your roof, this is also a public service.
Okay, so
If your roof has sprung a leak and you've determined that you have a big, huge leak in your roof, right? Or you need a new roof, westfallroofing.com. I'm just giving you an example. I'm just giving
we
you an
know
example.
how advertising works.
But hang on a minute.
Okay.
But I'm just trying to point out that I'm not just one to do advertising on the MJ Morning Show. I also am subjected to effective advertising.
You don't say.
Yes.
Oh.
And I'm going to give you an example, and I'm a little torqued off. So, and I'm going to tell you right now, it's very effective. So, on my Instagram, on my social media, on my feed, and I think it gets picked up from my searches. And I love Asian food. I love sushi. I love omakase. I love Thai. Whatever. I love Chinese food. For instance, you're probably going to find me at China Yuan on Sunday late morning getting dim sum.
I'll know where not to go.
You want to join me with the kids for dim sum? No, don't forget.
Yeah, I want to have a good time.
All right.
No,
No, but seriously, I love dim sum, and for me, the best dim sum in town is China Yuan, and we've been there. I've taken you.
It's a fantastic Chinese restaurant.
It's best Chinese, in my opinion, in town is China Yuan on Armenia, just north of Waters.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right behind the Winn-Dixie over there. Anyway, so the point is, I love dim sum. For whatever reason, I'm having this dim sum ad show up in my Instagram feed, and it's for a frozen soup dumpling. And a soup dumpling is a dumpling with chicken or pork inside. It's got the wonton outer shell, and there's like a soup inside as well. And listen, there's a famous place up in Chinatown in New York that does soup dumplings. Great restaurant. But I love dim sum. I love soup dumplings.
So you can eat a lot of them.
Oh yeah.
Can you eat 1 ton of them?
We stop.
One
Stop.
ton?
All right, just listen.
It's a lot.
So in my Instagram feed, I'm getting these ads for Mila, M-I-L-A, soup dumplings, which apparently it's an all-women run company, Asian women, out of Southern California or somewhere out in California. And the reviews on this product are very good. It's not just the advertisement, because I've also gone on and read some additional reviews online.
Holy cow.
And yeah, it's Mila, M-I-L-A, soup dumplings. And I'm like, you know what? I ordered a new bamboo steamer for our dumpling cooking and our pot stickers at home. And you know what? I want to try out the new bamboo steamer. So I'm going to try these Mila soup dumplings. So I look to see, you can order them online, they'll ship them to you, but I don't know. So they're available in stores. Whole Foods has them, and so does Sprouts. And Target apparently sells them as well. So I go to Whole Foods last night, about 7:30 last night, 7:45. I go to Whole Foods, and I can't find the freaking things. I'm going up and down the frozen aisles on what's going on. And then I ask for help, and a guy says, oh, yeah, they're over here. And, there are 3 different slots for 3 different varieties at Whole Foods.
All sold out?
Everything. Bare spot. Where those Mila soup dumplings are supposed to be. Completely sold out. The whole case is filled with every product. There's nothing else that I see sold out. In like 2 aisles of frozen foods at Whole Foods at Midtown, and there are 3 slots that are bare, and those are the Mila soup dumplings, right? So then I saw that Sprouts, right down on Southdale Mabry,
A little further down.
yeah, has them as well. I call up instead of driving there, and they said, "Oh no, sir, they're very popular. They're out of stock." Oh my God! So the point is, I guess the advertising, they're doing a hell of a job with their social media advertising, and it's sold out. I haven't gone to Target, but I guess Target is supposed to carry these Mila soup dumplings as well.
I just clicked the link on Target.com, and
Yeah.
it says unavailable for pickup or delivery.
Son of it sounds like their advertising is so effective that they can't keep up with supply
It sounds like Mila did an advertising blitz on uppity white guys.
without being scaled properly. I don't know.
They sold out.
Is that not insane?
Wow.
Why don't you order it from the company? It'll be here in a couple of days.
No.
It'll be in a couple of days. You're ordering it from the company.
I want, instead of waiting, I just want to go to the store and buy them.
You can't do that. By
What?
the time the store restocks, they'll be at your house.
Apparently, I can't. Hey, let me run something else by you guys.
Oh my God.
Run it by us.
And I have another food story, which I'll get to a little bit later on. This is weird, and I kind of panicked, and I've since ascertained I think it might be very localized. My brother has apparently been sending me text messages, and I'm not getting them. Has this happened to you, where someone is sending you texts, and it's like days or weeks later that you figure out that, oh my God, I'm not getting any text messages. So yesterday I went into a little bit of a panic. Yeah, maybe panic is a little overblown, but I went into a concerned mode yesterday that maybe it's my phone, and what text messages have I been missing? So it turns out that I've been in some communication with my brother, and he can get my messages, but I can't get his text messages. It's bizarre. So then I thought for a second, all right, wait a minute, what wireless company does he use, and what phone does he use? So I'm trying to do all of this narrowing down to figure out, all right, the major cell phone companies are Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile. And then, of course, the 2 different phones are the iPhone, the Apple, or an Android phone. So I'm trying to figure out if there's some kind of combination that's all screwy here. So my brother's on T-Mobile. I'm Verizon. And, Michelle, and this is an interesting aspect, Michelle had sent my brother a whole bunch of information that he wanted. And then Michelle's like, oh my God, he didn't respond to me. I mean, I sent him all this stuff. He didn't say, he didn't say boo about it. He didn't thank me. Didn't have any. Turns out I unraveled yesterday that my brother had sent Michelle all kinds of responses and questions and thought that Michelle was being a bitch by not responding back to him.
Oh, this is a situational comedy if I've ever seen one.
So it turns out, and then I got concerned, my parents are on T-Mobile as well. I think my brother has my parents, on the family plan.
Family plan?
Yeah, exactly. So I say to my mom last night, hey, Mom, can you, I'm going to text you. Can you text me back? And my parents are on T-Mobile. Same conditions. My parents have iPhones, and they're texting me on an Android, and my mom's texts and my dad's texts come through fine. What the hell is it? What's going on where my brother can get my text from my Verizon Android to his iPhone on T-Mobile? He can get, but whatever he sends to me, nothing. Zero, zilch. So yesterday I'm like in a semi little concerned state, and I'm like texting Fester. What did I send to you?
So I get a text in the middle of the afternoon, and it's just the MJ yo.
And then Fester sends back a yo. I'm like, okay, Fester has an iPhone. Fester, you're on Verizon.
Yeah, Verizon.
And I'm like, okay, Verizon, iPhone, Android works. And then I've got friends that I know that are on AT&T, and I sent them a text. They sent me a text back. And
Did you
it worked.
send them a yo also?
No, I listen.
Yeah.
So it
Okay.
worked. So I'm trying to do this detective sleuth work, but still we haven't figured it out. Why the hell is my brother sending texts to Michelle and me, and we're not getting them? So it's like this big freaking mystery going on right now.
Yes, we're all very concerned about your brother and Michelle. So what information were they exchanging that would trigger your brother to call her such a...
No, my brother didn't call her that. I said, I'm sure my brother thought that my wife was just ignoring him. That's what I was saying.
Okay.
But what's causing that? I have no idea.
It's a conspiracy, is my guess.
It's bizarre. This is the NFL on the MJ Morning Show. A couple of days ago, this week, we spoke about the rumor floating around, and this is quite the buzz, the conspiracy du jour, where people were making a lot of noise over the last week, a lot of social media and message boards, Reddit, about the NFL is instituting facial recognition and will scan the faces of every single fan going into NFL stadiums this upcoming season.
You know what? I think I believe it. I think it sounds like something right up the NFL's alley.
Well,
because all these conspiracy theories that are way too crazy to sound like they're even plausible, I don't know.
The NFL, the NFL is saying that this rumor is patently false.
Of course they're going to say that.
But wait, I have some information regarding the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this season at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa. I have some inside information regarding facial recognition, and in fact, this might be where the rumor actually started. So the NFL is saying that they're not going to be scanning every fan's face, but there is some facial recognition scanning going on. I have an anonymous tip. I will not reveal a name, but I received, and this is why my direct messages are open on Instagram. You can send me a hot tip, a lead. You have some gossip. You have some information we got to know. You can give it to me confidentially. I'm proving it. I'm going to give you information. I'm not going to reveal my source.
I'm going to guess your source.
You can send me anything, a direct message on Instagram. I'm Certified MJ Radio. Give me a follow as well. Certified MJ Radio on Instagram. Or you can email my private email. I'm the only one who touches this email. In fact, I own the domain, so no one's spying on it. It's mj@mjmorningshow.com if you need to email me.
All right, what's the tip?
So
what's
here
the
it
thing?
is.
What's the dirt?
Hey, MJ, And this is after we discussed the rumor of facial recognition scanning earlier this week. I get this this direct message. No, this was email. And I get this message that says, "Hey, MJ, I'll tell you this anonymously. In regard to facial recognition at Raymond James Stadium, it is being implemented this year.
I knew it.
However, as of now, it is not for guests attending games. It is for us that work there to access areas in which the general public are not allowed.
Oh.
Security at the event are weekend warriors, so they don't know who we are, even though we wear identifying clothing. I did have to submit a headshot of myself in order to get my NFL credentials and facial recognition." So this person, a Ray J employee, had to submit a shot of their face that then gets put into the NFL computers for the software to learn his face for facial recognition. So it is being used for all the back scene folks. He's saying it's not for guests at this point, but maybe that's where this whole rumor started, that the NFL's requiring all of the facial recognition for employees and people that work at the games. So that's probably how the whole story got started.
So Baker Mayfield walks up to the stadium and he says, "Hey, I'm Baker Mayfield. I'm here to play."
If he didn't submit his photo,
No, he can't.
you're out.
He's out.
No Baker Mayfield.
Mike Evans just pulls up in his car. Hey, I'm here.
Didn't submit his photo?
Oh, you're out. Sorry, Mike.
No number 13.
Nope.
You're out. You're a fraud. You're fake. Not allowed in.
Vita Vea.
Bucks lose.
Big number
Bucks
15.
lose. Hi, Gene Deckeroff here. Bucks lose because Mike Evans did not submit his photo for facial recognition. Bucks lose. Bucks lose.
The Glazers. They walk up together. Oh, it's my stadium. What are you talking about? I own the team.
Oh, sorry. You did not submit your facial recognition photo. Yeah. Hey, you want to hear something hysterical? And it's the same freaking judge. Do you remember, this is, a month or so ago? Do you remember the judge that was doing the court hearing via Zoom? And it turns out that he thought that the guy had a suspended license and he was driving in his car while attending the court hearing. This was
yes, of course, in Michigan.
Exactly. Michigan judge, guys. 100% right.
That story would change every week.
But remember, that story changed 5 times here on the MJ Morning Show. That he had a suspended license, and then he was to turn himself into jail later that day. I mean, that was classic audio. Hey, Andrew, can you bring that audio up? There's a new story. There's an all new story involving the same judge that is spectacular. A brand new story has emerged. But just to refresh your memory, Andrew, let me know when you have the audio of the original piece where, before it got all sorted out, it turned out that what was the story? It turned out that the guy did not have a suspended license.
The guy never had a license.
Yeah, he never had a license at all or something.
So it couldn't be suspended because in his entire adult life, he never had a license.
Yeah, it was a whole, this whole freaky story. Andrew, do you have the audio on this yet? Okay, hang on. Here's the audio. This is the original audio, but the point is, there's an all-new story, totally different guy, same judge, but here's the original audio to refresh your memory.
So I will try to get through this as quick as I possibly can. But I will tell you, first of all, with any reference to your client having had a license on that day and some indication or misunderstanding as to whether or not he had a license, let me make it very clear, based upon what the court looked at, he has never had a Michigan license. Ever, and has never had a license in the other 49 states and commonwealths that form up this great union. He has never had a license.
All right, that was when they finally sorted things out. This is what led up to that.
People are saying, and quite frankly, your client has made the assertion that Pittsfield Township, as well as this court, was acting on some type of defective or faulty information, which I will tell you, counsel, caused the court, given what the court did, to investigate what my ruling And I will tell you that assertion.
You see, that's not the
This is a lot of
those are two of the aftermath clips, not the
So,
original clips.
In the court proceeding, the guy's driving, and the judge says,
Right.
"Sir, you're here for a suspended license."
He says, "Are you drive?" Those are the two later clips.
And then he shuts them down immediately. He says, "Sir, you got to report to county jail by 6 p.m. tonight."
Right.
Pull the car over immediately.
Yeah, see that? Okay. Now Andrew's put up the one I really need. All right, here we go.
Court calls case People versus Corey
Here it
Harris.
is.
On behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Tate for Mr. Harris, who should be present via Zoom.
Mr. Harris, are you driving?
Actually, I'm pulling into my doctor's office, actually. So just give me 1 second. I'm parking right now.
You stationary?
I'm pulling in right now at this second. Yes, I am.
All right. What are we doing?
Your Honor, we are respectfully requesting an adjournment in this matter, up possibly 2 to 4 weeks if the court would allow.
Okay. So maybe I don't understand something.
Here we go.
This is a driving while license suspended,
That is correct, Your Honor.
and he was just driving, and he didn't have a license.
Is with the charges, Your Honor, yes.
No, I'm looking at his
Yes.
record. He doesn't have a license. He's suspended and he's just driving.
That is correct, Your Honor.
I don't even know why he would do that. So defendant's bond is revoked in this matter. Defendant is to turn himself into the Washington County Jail by 6 p.m. today. Failure to turn himself in will result in a bench warrant with no bond. Thank you.
Remember,
Your Honor.
yeah. All right. So the whole thing got sorted out. Turned out the guy never had a license at all. It wasn't a suspended. He never had a license.
I love that he's just like on a Zoom call in the middle of the road too. Like that's, I mean, I know people do it sometimes, but that's another like egregious thing.
That seems like it's even worse. Just
Yeah.
never have it. My
There were
license is
there were like 3 iterations that his license was suspended and he was driving, but then the next iteration was there was a complete error and his license was not suspended. And then the third story was they found out that he had no license whatsoever.
Okay, but who cares about that?
All right.
What's the new stuff?
All right, so I'm just laying the predicate.
You laid the
All right.
hell out of it.
All right.
Go.
All right. There's a new story before the same damn judge up in Michigan. A defendant told the judge to kiss my ass. This judge, the judge's name is Cedric Simpson.
Yeah, that's his name.
This defendant gets all foul-mouthed. He has been thrown in jail for over a year on contempt charges because of what happened in the judge's courtroom. You got to hear this. You got to hear what just went down. Here, listen.
It's trespassing. I could technically leave and you guys could issue a warrant as long as I don't return. You can kiss my ass.
So that's
that's the guy talking to the judge?
Yeah, tells the judge, kiss my ass.
It's trespassing. I could technically leave and you guys could issue a warrant as long as I don't return. You can kiss my ass.
Wow. Okay. Here is more audio, and he keeps laying on curse words to the judge, and the judge, this is like a comedy scene, keeps like hitting him with another 90 days, 90 days, 90 days, 90 days. Here, listen.
This is
You know what? No.
All right, so this is the judge. The judge is getting ticked off after he says, the kiss my ass.
It's trespassing. I could technically leave and you guys could issue a warrant as long as I don't return. You can kiss my ass. This is
You know what? No. I'm gonna tell you what. You don't come in here. You don't. Okay. That's contempt. That's 93. Keep going. That's another 93. That's another 93. That's another 93. That's another 93. That's 6 93s consecutive.
Then the guy goes from kiss my ass to bleep you. Those are all the bleeps. He's telling the judge, bleep you, bleep you, bleep you. The F-bomb. F you. I mean, then you hear the judge going, 93. That's another 93. That's another 93. That's another 93. Another 93. The guy gets 558 days in jail for contempt as the judge just keeps you know what that's like? Do you remember the Breakfast Club? Remember the whole detention thing? Remember this scene?
You just bought yourself another Saturday, mister. crushed.
You just want one more right there.
Well, I'm free the Saturday after that. Beyond that, I'm gonna have to check my calendar.
Good. You want another one?
Yes.
You got it. You got another one right there. That's another one, pal. You through?
Not even close, bud.
Good. You got one more right there.
You really think I give a
Another.
And listen again.
This is
You know what?
It's
You know,
irrelevant.
no. I'm gonna tell you what. You don't come in. You don't. Okay, that's contempt. That's 93. Keep going. That's another 93. That's another 93. That's another 93. That's another 93. That's 6 93s consecutive.
And again, this same judge, Cedric Simpson in Michigan, that dealt with the guy with that whole suspended license thing.
Is that the lawyer telling the client to shut up?
I think it's somebody.
Shut up! Shut up.
I think he was defending himself. I don't think he had a lawyer or a public defender.
Not a good
It's
one.
trespassing. I could technically leave and you guys could issue a warrant as long as I don't return. You can kiss my ass.
Oh, man. And then it escalates from there with all the bleep yous, 93. It's another 93 days, another 93. You get a 93. You get a 93. Everybody gets a 93 days.
Year and a half he's gone.
Yeah.
Wow.
558 days. Now, I don't know if that's going to stand. I don't know if ultimately that's going to come
He
to
deserves
fruit.
it.
Yeah, but yeah,
It's
that's
respectful.
pretty ballsy move there.
I'm glad you got to play the Breakfast Club song.
Yeah.
I like that song. I forgot how much I
Song. But
Too bad.
it reminded me of the whole detention thing. You know, that's right, mister. You just got yourself another Saturday.
Another Saturday.
Another
Mm-hmm.
Saturday. And another Saturday.
Another.
Yeah. Wow. Hey, let me ask you a question.
Oh, hey,
Okay.
hey, I know you like football and planes.
Yeah.
The Carolina Panthers.
Yes.
They landed this morning in Charlotte after their preseason game against the Patriots,
Oh, my, what?
and the plane drove off the runway.
Whoa, wait, hang on a minute. Breaking news.
Busting.
Posted about an hour and a half ago. I just saw it. And
Delta flight carrying Carolina Panthers players runs off the taxiway at Charlotte Airport. I scroll up. Let me see the details here.
I know it's your two favorite things,
Yeah.
football and plane talk. So
Well, he likes one a little bit more.
A Delta Airlines flight reportedly carrying Carolina Panthers players ran off the runway moments after touching down at Charlotte Douglas International Airport Friday morning. The incident happened around 2:35 a.m. when Delta Flight 8860. With Delta, any 8800 flights are sports flights or charters. Seriously.
there's a plane talk.
But
Plain sports talk right there.
Listen,
I knew you'd give us something.
But this is true. So Major League Baseball, hockey, they have a different range. So you have like an 8860s or NFL, 8850s, 8840s. So those flights, when you see those numbers, you know that it's a major league team that's being transported. So that's interesting. So this is a preseason.
Yeah, they played the Patriots.
Yeah.
I guess up in Foxborough.
Yeah. So they're coming back.
Yeah, it took off from Providence, Rhode Island, which makes sense.
Listen, it doesn't seem to be too severe. The right main gear of Delta 8860 exited the taxiway.
The quarterback tore his ACL
Whoa.
upon landing.
Upon landing. But hey, the internet, as you know, and social media, folks, is filled with such garbage. You know, one of the latest things. This is a little sidebar. The latest thing now is people are following doctors' advice, and it turns out that some of these doctor videos are AI generated, and they're not even real doctors. So, folks.
Or they're humans who aren't real doctors.
Listen, well, that too. Folks, do not get your medical advice from Tik Tok, Tik Schmuck, or IG, Instagram Reels. I repeat, do not get medical advice. Don't make life decisions on some video you saw on TikTok. And people are doing this left and right. And now the big concern is you got fake doctors, artificial intelligence created videos and audio where somebody is pretending to be a doctor and they look like doctors. And people are following like bad advice.
How do you look like a doctor? What, are you wearing a white coat and have a stethoscope around your neck?
Listen, bottom line is, do not get advice or make any important decision off of some stupid video that you saw on social media. Well, guess what? people now are falling for this stupid rice Zempic video. And listen, we have people listening right now that probably have already seen this. So what is rice Zempic?
You just eat rice and you're going to lose weight?
Well, of course, rice Zempic, this is a whole play on the whole,
Ozempic.
the whole Ozempic thing. And, well, rice Zempic is this alleged benefit that you drink the cloudy rice water. Rice Zempic. This is patently false. There's no such thing as rice Zempic. All right. Here's the deal. There is a weight loss hack that's floating around, and you apparently are supposed to, when you make rice, you're supposed to make a homemade drink with the cloudy rice water.
Ugh.
So there's a video going around that you soak uncooked rice and then strain the water out and drink the cloudy rice water.
Now,
And that
aren't some rices supposed to be washed?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah, I with my Japanese koshi hikari rice, I wash the hell out of that rice. And then what happens is you're washing the starch off the rice, but that's the same basic idea here, is that you let the rice soak, you let the water turn cloudy, then you drink the rice water.
The starchy water.
And the starchy water, they're calling it rice Zempic. There is no medical basis for this. This is just garbage.
Sounds like
this,
you'd be sick.
It's not going to make you
No,
sick.
but just that much starch. That's thick, starchy water?
It's not going to make you sick. This is just BS. It's bogus. It's false. But the number of people that are falling for these stupid internet hacks and remedies and medical tips, stop it. There's no such thing as rice Zempic. It doesn't work. It's not a thing, and people are doing it.
I feel like rice water has been touted as having benefits in the past, but this is a new thing, just trying to make it like it's like there's something related to blood sugar.
Okay.
I remember reading this before Ozempic was a thing. They were trying to make rice water some sort of tincture.
Well, the carbohydrates in rice are going to convert to sugar. But Fester, you brought up a point about washing rice. So I love rice. I mean, for me, I can just fire up my Zojirushi rice cooker with Japanese koshi hikari, Japanese sticky rice, and that's a meal for me. I will fire up a bowl of rice,
yes.
And to me, that's one of the great. It's as simple as can be. Just plain white rice is fulfilling, and I love it. But the point is that when I make my rice, I wash, whether I buy the California-grown koshi hikari or I also have Japanese-grown Niigata koshi hikari rice. I wash my rice. It's roughly 8 to 10 times.
Whoa.
And you want to wash your rice until the water is clear. And because the first couple of washes, I mean, it is white, milky water with the starch coming off.
But that's the stuff these online people are saying you're supposed to drink.
Exactly. And there's no, Michelle saw something a couple of years ago where she's supposed to use my cloudy rice cleaning water to put in her hair. I don't know.
I tell you right now, I've never washed rice-a-roni. Never.
Speaking of Michelle, I'm in the doghouse.
Uh-oh.
She, I don't even know if she's going to talk to me now. Hold on a minute. And we sort of have a lunch date. We had a plan to go to Nona Slice House because, on Fridays they open early.
Oh, she's going to stand you up.
Yeah, well.
You're going to be sitting there all alone.
We're supposed to get pizza for lunch today.
Okay.
After the show, go to Nona Slice House.
You're going to be a sad puppy sitting there.
She loves the old world margarita over there at Nona. Hold on a minute. I don't even know. I broke a cardinal sin last night, and I
broke a cardinal sin?
I did. I don't even know if she's going to pick up. But I want to grovel and apologize.
Hello.
Michelle?
What?
I'm sorry.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am!
No, you're not.
I'm sorry.
You don't know what it means to be sorry. When you are sorry for something, you don't do it again, repeatedly.
Are we still going to have our lunch date at the Nona Slice House today?
I don't know. We'll see.
Michelle, I'm sorry for. No, hold on a minute. I'm sorry for what I did.
Yeah, okay.
Would you like to tell people what I did?
You need to say you're sorry to your daughter too, because then you turned around and told her that she still had to eat it.
All right, go ahead and tell the story, because obviously you're going to be able to tell the story much better than me.
We had takeout food the other evening for dinner, and Chloe and I strategically saved some leftovers for later in the week, her for lunch and me for my dinner the next day. And yesterday when we went to, eat it, somebody had eaten it and then thrown away the side sauces that went with what was left still for her to take to lunch. But this happens every single time there's our food in the refrigerator that we're saving. We go turn around and eat it, it's gone.
All right.
Michelle, the issue is, and
the
yes,
issue is you can't control yourself.
I'm sorry. Listen to me.
That's not the issue.
Because
sorry.
I can't. Hold on a minute. No, this is important. I don't know when you're going to eat the leftovers and when you're not, because they're.
You know what? Stop right there. What are you doing right now? Are you using your mouth to communicate?
Yes.
Yeah, the same mouth that he used to eat the food.
Do you think you could use your mouth to ask in the house? Oh, by the way, I noticed there's still a spring roll in here. Were you going to eat that?
All right, Michelle.
What?
I think the unwritten rules of leftovers is.
Nope.
I mean, you get first swipe at it. Once it's in the carton in the fridge, it's fair game.
No,
Unless,
that's not a rule.
was
In
your
fact,
name?
The rule has been in my house since I've been screaming at him about it for a long time now. Do not eat my food without asking.
Was your name on the package?
I am so methodical about it. I cut my portions in half, and you know this. That I'm going to go back and eat it the next day, and then you say, well, I didn't know when you were going to eat it. Then how come every time, within the 1 to 2 days later, I'm yelling at you about eating my food?
Man, Michelle, you got to write your name on it. I mean, how many leftovers do you ultimately end up throwing away because he's not eating it thinking you're going to get to it, and then it's 4 days later and you pitch it?
And that's the point.
I know.
Do you know how many things? You know how many things come back from the You know how many things come back from the restaurant or takeout that sit? Yes, it happens. It sits in the fridge and then it's not used, and then we throw it away and it was wasted. So it just seems that whenever I don't touch the food, it sits there and you guys don't eat it. And then whenever I touch the food, then suddenly, you were planning on eating it.
This is a tough one. I mean, I see both sides, Michelle, because I kind of feel like I do the same sometimes. Like if there's a carton of food in the fridge, I feel like I'm saving like an endangered species by eating it. I feel like I'm preserving something. Like I'll save you leftover food. I'll eat you right now. And
what are you saying?
Yeah, so I feel good about myself.
Yeah, MJ,
but then I do understand if it's my food and Doug were to eat it, there's a problem.
Listen, Michelle, once you decide that you're done with it and you wrap it up, unless your name is on it.
No. I wasn't done with it, and he knows this. This is my system. And so now you've also thrown away the little sauces, and then you turned around and told her she still had to eat the roll with no sauce.
All right.
That's not right. That's really egregious.
Michelle.
Because, by the way, for some unknown crazy reason, you decided to clean out the refrigerator.
You mean to tell me MJ made Chloe eat a spring roll with no sauce?
Without the dipping sauce.
Because I didn't put it in her lunchbox.
What kind of animal are you, MJ?
He's a beast eater with a mouth-stuffing, uncontrollable issue.
Heavens, no!
We do have a lot of footage of that when we've eaten out with him at times.
A spring roll with no sauce, you animal. You're a barbarian.
Michelle, I will make a pledge from here on out. I will check with you first every time before I dive into the leftovers to make sure that you don't want them, okay?
Last week, we went to Colony Grill. Chloe and I shared a pizza, and we each brought home a slice. You ate a whole pie.
Yeah, hungry hippo just gets in there, gobbles them up like marbles. Yeah. Can you control yourself, MJ?
No. So we bring it home, and I put the pizza on the counter, and I know what I'm going to do. And he knows it, too. He knows that I'm going to go back and have a slice. And what happens? I go back to get the slice. Not one slice is gone. Both slices are gone. And I'm like, where'd the pizza go? Oh, I didn't know you were going to eat it. How do you not know after 30 years what my system is?
So last night, Michelle was supposed to hang with me while I'm doing show prep, watch TV with me, and Michelle comes down and saw that I ate her spring roll, and she gives me the silent treatment after yelling at me, then goes upstairs. I didn't see her for the rest of the night.
I needed to watch Monk to calm me down.
So she went up to watch old episodes of Monk.
Michelle, if I went by the Oceanic Oriental supermarket and just dropped off a bottle of hoisin sauce, would it make this whole thing go away?
No, it wasn't that. It wasn't that.
All right. All right.
It's the principle, Fester. It's
All
the
right.
principle.
I won't.
Somebody needs to ask. You use your mouth for a couple of different things, one of which is overstuffing it, but the other one is, hello, communicate. Ask politely, hey, are you planning on eating this?
All right.
Yeah, you can do that. Even if Michelle's not home, you could text her.
I won't do it again, okay?
Oh, you're lying now.
Well, I've been hearing that forever. So what did I say to you last night? You say, I'm sorry, and I'll never do it again.
Right.
Both of which means it will never happen again.
Okay.
Right?
Right.
But you say them both. So together, they should really mean they're never going to happen again.
I'm sorry, it won't happen again.
You're a toddler.
I'm what?
You're a toddler.
Yeah, that is toddler behavior.
I will not do it again, all right?
We'll see.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay.
All right, can we have our lunch date at the Nona Slice House today?
No, because you know what? What happens when we go to Nona Slice House? Again, what happens?
Oh, you bring home leftovers and he devours them?
Yes.
Oh.
I bring home leftovers so that we can have a little bit later on.
I'm telling you, it won't happen again.
And what happens? You just go in there and start eating it, and then I have nothing to eat.
All right, let me make amends. Lunch date, Nona Slice House, Safety Harbor today, okay?
Oh, my God. Michelle, I just had a revelation.
What?
Why don't you get a garage refrigerator
with a lock?
With a lock. You keep all your stuff in there, and he could just, just Tasmanian devil through the house fridge. Whatever's in there is fair game, but you have like your special locker keeper there, your little refrigerator in the garage.
Do they make a fridge with like a digital touchscreen and a lock?
You know what, Fester? You just reminded me that I was supposed to do that like 30 years ago.
All right, Michelle, listen, I wanna do our lunch date at Nona, okay? All right, I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. All right?
All right.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Oh, MJ, look at these refrigerator locks. It's not a refrigerator with a lock, but it's two lock pads with a wire that has a lock combination on it. It's called the Strong Hold-In Refrigerator Lock.
That's to keep your fat kid Chauncey out of the refrigerator. Oh, and this whole take. Let me bring something else up here before I move on, because we've got a Taylor Swift update with the whole terrorism thing over in Austria. I have an Olympic update. We got a lot of stuff we got to do here. So hang on. And we're in the middle of an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ here on the MJ Morning Show on Q105, 104.7 FM here in Tampa Bay. So just a little follow-up on and this bothered me. The food that we got for takeout, it's good. I mean, this place is good. It's. I don't want to give too much away. I'm not trying to shame them, but a couple of things happened. And, we've been there numerous times. We've eaten in, we've taken out, and, it's got this, it's a Thai flair. It's not I don't want to give too much away, but I took the food out the other day. We got a couple of salads. We got the spring rolls. Chloe got a beef dish. And I took it out, and it was expensive. It wasn't cheap. It was, with tax, $98.
All right.
So the takeout for three of us, $98. That's
a little bit of change.
That's a lot. That's pretty significant. $98. And I wasn't guilt tipped. So again, when I place an order on the phone and I walk in and they hand me a bag and I swipe my credit card, I don't tip. I'm sorry. I don't tip on takeout. If I sit down at a restaurant and get great service, then I'm tipping. So I didn't tip. But I think I'm glad I didn't tip, because on the two salads, for Michelle and me, we got the identical salad. And again, the food is great. And we've had a great experience there in the past. The two salads, I ordered both with no cilantro. And if you look at the receipt has like capital letters for the salads, no cilantro. I hate cilantro. Michelle can tolerate it, but she said, you know what? Just leave the cilantro off mine. So I order the salads with no cilantro. It's even on the receipt. No cilantro. And then all of the items for takeout, there were little like purple magic marker check marks next to the spring rolls. Oh, check, check. The 2 salads, check, with no cilantro. It's like bold, capitalized letters. Get them home. Guess what? Both salads were loaded with cilantro.
Oh, no.
Well, I mean, that sucks.
It's frustrating.
I got to pick all the cilantro out. It's like, oh, man, son of
And if you
a...
accidentally get a bite, to you, it tastes like soap.
Yeah.
Right?
So, well, it tastes like dirty dishwater to me or whatever. Dirty. So I'm glad I didn't tip, but I'm sorry. I'm not guilt tipped.
Did you call them back? Did you say, hey, listen, guys, I spent almost $100 on some takeout here. And
you know what?
The one order you guys messed up.
Typically, my personality would dictate that I would call them up. But I just left it alone.
As a restaurant owner, you would think you'd want to know that just to be sure that you provide the right service.
I should have. I usually always do. For whatever reason, I didn't call back and complain.
You want me to
night.
stand outside their place with a sign?
No.
This place puts cilantro on your crap no matter what you ask for?
No cilantro ever!
Oh, boy. We really do have first world problems.
I guess we do, don't we?
We really do. Times are really tough for us.
All right. It's time for a Tay-Tay update here on the MJ Morning Show. I'm going to point something out that I'm guessing maybe nobody else is going to point out. I don't know. Maybe on certain things I'm a little savantish or, Rain Man-ish. I don't know.
An MJ lightning bolt of insight.
I don't know. I don't know that I would confuse savant with a deformity, but okay.
What deformity are you talking about?
Okay.
All right, let me just lay this out. So, how's this a Taylor Swift update? Well, let me explain. So, as you know, as we brought you, was it yesterday or the day before, the Taylor Swift concerts in Vienna, Austria, canceled. Last night's Thursday night, canceled. Tonight's show, Friday night, canceled. Saturday night, canceled. All 3. Turns out you have these young, radicalized cretins, these little terror bitches that became radicalized online, pledged allegiance to ISIS, and that they were going to use some type of an explosive device and chemicals, and they were going to institute a terrorist attack at one of the Taylor Swift shows. So it turns out that, we're dealing with like an 18-year-old or a 15-year-old, a 17-year-old, and a 19-year-old. I mean, this is crazy. Then listen to this. It turns out, so information has now come out that the 17-year-old apparently had gotten a job to provide security at the stadium.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Taylor Swift ISIS suspects, one of them hired as one of the guards, one of the security people. And then they even said that they even had a blue police light that they were going to potentially use on a vehicle to try to get close. I mean, this whole story, whether this was actually going to come to fruition, it seems, though, with the subsequent police press conferences that it was a little bit more operational versus aspirational. So that's a new little twist here, that one of the terror suspects was actually going to be like the Trojan horse already on the inside as one of the crowd control or security personnel.
Hey, this ties back to what we talked about earlier about NFL stadiums. And if there is indeed voice recognition in the places.
No, facial.
Excuse me.
Facial recognition.
Yep.
Yeah.
Facial. I'm using my voice to say this, but facial recognition inside places where only security personnel or, people who are with the company need to go.
Who checks the security? I mean, you're like the first security guy to show up. What scanner does he walk through?
Who checks the security guy to make sure he's not ISIS? All right. Now, listen to this. They wanted to bomb the place, apparently with some type of chemical weapons, and they wanted to mow fans down. So, again, what were they planning? I'm sure more details will come out. However, listen to this. There is more to the story. This is the observation that you might not have heard anywhere else. I haven't heard of it. I could be the only one making this observation. And it all comes down to the F91W.
Oh, yeah, the old F91W.
Yep.
Stop mocking me.
Oh,
do you know what the F91W is?
The F91W?
What is the F91W? The whole Taylor Swift terror plot, there is a very interesting observation involving the F91W.
I know what it is, but I've been sworn to secrecy.
Yeah, okay. Come on, smart guy. Tell me what the F91W is.
It's the code word for Taylor Swift's
nope.
ballad.
Nope.
What is it? I don't know what it is.
I would say, hey, let's go to phones. Who knows what the F91W is? But someone's going to Google it, and that's.
I Googled it.
Okay, then Roxanne, what's the F91W?
I'm the someone. You're looking at her.
What is it?
I don't. It doesn't make sense, but I mean, okay. Yeah. You want me to say what it is?
Yeah. What is the F91W?
A Casio watch.
It is.
Of course, you saw that. You watch.
So listen to this.
The watch he has on in his picture?
Yes. All right.
Like the most generic watch ever?
One of the suspects.
Is it what would you be called? A watchophile? What's someone who's obsessed with watches?
A watchophile.
A watchophile. Okay.
Well, it's horology is the study of watches, and I'm a watch fan. From
horology is the study of watches.
Horology. It's not WHORE. It's HORO. Horology. All right. So listen, I like watches from Casio to Patek Philippe or a Longa Unzana.
What about a good AP?
AP is a great watch.
None of these guys are wearing those watches.
Audemars Piguet.
Let's get back to the
is
F91.
a fantastic watch.
Nobody can say the name except you.
Vacheron Constantin, great watch.
Okay.
Anyway, all right. So I have an appreciation for great watch. Any watch. Listen, I have Casios.
But you're not a Rolex guy.
Jesus, let's talk about these terrorists.
I've never owned a Rolex.
Oh, my God.
I've never owned a Rolex, and I don't want a Rolex.
This show is such a podcast sometimes.
Yep.
All right, roll it back. Come on, let's talk about these guys.
So what is going on with the Casio F91W? And this is not mentioned in any of the stories that I've read. It turns out, Fess, let me grab the computer here.
Yep, you got it.
So Taylor Swift ISIS bombing suspect pictured holding dual knives as chilling details of terrorist plot revealed. And there's a photo that has come out of, this is probably the 19-year-old.
He's got a full, big, bushy beard.
Yeah, he's got an ISIS-style full, bushy beard. His face is kind of pixelated out. And he's holding two knives cross-armed.
Why is his face pixelated?
Well, for whatever reason, I guess the Austrian authorities pixelated or whatever. So he's doing his arms crossed in this photo with two knives, and on his left wrist, he has a black Casio F91W. And the minute I saw it, I'm like, it's the watch. He's got the watch. This is one of the cheapest Casios, if not the cheapest Casio you can buy. I have one, actually, in my collection, and I'm not ISIS. I'm not a terrorist. But the Casio F91W, and you've seen this watch, folks, it's a cheap, plain Casio digital watch. This watch is known as the watch of terrorists. It's a cheap watch. They've used it for like timing devices for IEDs and bombs, and it's become known. For instance, you can go on Amazon right now and type in Casio F91W, and you can find it for $16.88. This watch used to be like $12.
It's just a black rubber band watch with a flat face and the gray digital display.
It's the cheapest, most simplest Casio digital watch you can buy.
Well, that's a good way for the CIA and the FBI to, kind of investigate people, because you can look at Amazon, see who's buying these.
Well, hey, good point.
Follow up.
But good point. However, listen, most people are buying this watch. They're not terrorists. But it was identified, for instance, like people brought to Guantanamo. So during, the war on terror, post 9/11, it was noted, and this information came out of post 9/11 and Iraq and Afghanistan, and they noticed that when they were apprehending or they were killing these terror suspects, that they were like all wearing the same damn watch. And it's the Casio F91W. And here's the guy in this Taylor Swift incident where the concert was canceled, You got this guy pledging allegiance to ISIS, and he's wearing the Casio F91W.
All right, but if you're ISIS, you're living in a cave. This watch is like an Apple Watch. I go, oh my goodness, look, it has the time written right on it.
Listen to this. The Casio F91W has become known as the terrorist watch, and here's why. Like the Kalashnikov Toyota Hilux, which is a car? Well, it's a Toyota pickup truck, and Hilux is not one of the models they have in the U.S., but internationally, and the Nokia 105 cell phones. The watch is prolific in modern conflicts. It is mass-produced, cheap, durable, and available at the closest mall or airport duty-free shop. Even Osama bin Laden. In pictures, Osama bin Laden has been seen wearing that Casio watch. And I don't think that was a coincidence at all. These radicalized teenagers in Austria that wanted to blow up Taylor Swift fans at the concert, they absolutely had that watch because they knew that was like the terrorist watch, the Casio F91W. So when you see the picture and look at the watch, I've seen nobody else anywhere bring this up. See, this is why you listen to the MJ Morning Show. For stuff like that. And then also, did you see like the Taylor Swift fans all heartbroken? They were in the streets of Vienna yesterday singing like a choir Taylor Swift songs. Yep.
What time?
Yeah, in other words, they were kind of missing the point of, hey, we're lucky we didn't go to this concert.
Incidentally, my Casio F91W is sitting on the base of my lamp on my bedside dresser.
Oh, so you might be on the terror watch list.
I am not, but I do have a Casio. Got some G-Shocks as well.
Yeah.
It seems like a much more durable watch for terrorism.
I see why it's called horror file now because
it's
a horrible. Yeah.
Watch collecting, interest in watches is called horology.
Oh, okay.
HORO. It's nothing to do with whores and harlots.
Horrors.
Okay. All right.
Are you ready for today's Olympic update here on the MJ Morning Show? And now it's time for another MJ Morning Show Olympic update. Apparently, the medals are so crappy, they're coming apart.
Dude, I looked at the medals before the Olympics, and they just look like folded up pieces of aluminum foil. They look so crappy.
Listen, they're peeling. This is
I saw
terrible.
it. That's weird.
A member of the U.S. skateboard team is criticizing the quality of the Olympic medals after the bronze medal that he won is starting to deteriorate. He's had it for a couple of days. Nyjah Huston, or Huston, or it's Nyjah Huston. Thank you for being a U.S. Olympic medalist. I'm sorry, I wish I knew how to pronounce your name. But he revealed after just a week of having his bronze medal that the backside of the medal's all chipped and the bronze color is like peeling off. What kind of cheap-ass medals did they come up with? These medals made in China? What did they order these from Temu or Temu or what Temu or however you pronounce that
Temu.
crap? Temu. My God, listen to this. He says, quote, "So these Olympic medals look great when they're brand new, but after letting it sit on my skin and some sweat for a little bit and letting my friends wear it over the weekend, it's damaged." And then he shows that the thing is like peeling and it's discoloring and it's a freaking mess. So he had a bronze, but I thought I saw where others are complaining about some of the other medals. But at least the bronze medals having problems.
Now, this is fake gold. What did they say about fake gold? It turns like your skin green or something?
Listen, some people are allergic to fake. There are people that need at least 14 or 18 karat gold or else they'll get like an infection on their earlobes. Like some women that have their ears pierced, they got to wear real gold, because if they wear like other metals, they'll have an allergic reaction or some type of a breakout. So
these are some of the ugliest metals I
you know
can
what?
recall.
I'm not a real fan of these metals either. And when I first saw them, I'm like, when the first couple of days when metals were, I didn't even know they were metals. I didn't know what the hell they were. I thought they were like drink coasters or something. I didn't know what the hell they were.
Yeah, I know.
The gold metal looks like you took one of those like cupcake papers.
Yeah, that's
and spread it out flat, and then you put a little Paris 2024 in the middle. It looks so cheap.
Or like a cheap poker chip.
Yeah.
Like if kids had a pretend casino in their house, that would be it.
This has been an Olympic update. Oh, and by the way, the U.S. has exceeded 100 medals now, right? Yeah, so hopefully we have the highest medal count, and hopefully we can stave off China and walk away with the most gold medals. And again, this has been an Olympic update on the cheap-ass medals that are peeling from the Olympics in Paris on the MJ Morning Show.
That was really official.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, I thought that sounded good. Thought that was very, official sounding.
Did you hear about the diver that got like a 0.0 after they smacked their head or something?
No, smacked their feet. I saw that.
Yeah, I just saw they hit the diving board. That's
it's awful. Can you imagine you get to the Olympics and you miscalculate your jump and your propulsion away from the platform? Yeah, the U.S. diver, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, U.S. diver, high dive, hit, what's her name? Allison Gibson. I got a 0.0.
That's awful.
Wow.
Yeah, sorry to hear that, but hey, listen, crap happens. Hey,
I have to say,
yeah,
I was watching some women's water polo.
Was Flava Flav there?
Okay.
Was he high? Because Flava Flav is the women's water polo hype man.
Yeah. And
Flava Flav.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
If you're an ass man, get into women's water polo. Because
there's
a
lot of
they've got a stockier build,
juicy,
right?
yeah.
They're
juicy booty,
muscular, built, athletic ladies, and I'm just saying.
Message in a bottle. Message in a bottle. Message in a bottle.
Yeah, you made us hate this song yesterday.
Yeah,
didn't we? Whatever day it was.
The other day, didn't we go through this already?
Okay, stop it.
Got another one.
Another message in a bottle.
I got another message in a bottle story. So earlier this week, I had this fascinating story how they think the oldest message in a bottle was found. Fester, bring that story back up, would you please?
Sure.
I think it was like New Jersey. This woman is walking on the Jersey shore and finds a message in a bottle that they seemingly have dated to 1876.
I mean, there's plenty of bottles laying in the Jersey dirt on the beach, but not this one.
Message in a bottle.
So I pulled this little excerpt from the police, and I guess proceeded to bug the crap out of Fester, where, didn't you threaten to punch me in the throat if I played this again?
Yeah, he did.
I did.
And you are pressing your luck.
Yeah, I stand by that.
Yeah,
still.
it sounds like you want to get big old punch in the throat.
That was a great game show. Press your luck. Was that no whammies, no whammies, no whammies?
Yeah.
Yes.
No whammies, no whammies. Stop! Right? All right, so we have a local story now. So I have a new message in a bottle story. And this is at a Safety Harbor where hopefully Michelle will join me at the Nona Slice House for lunch later today on our Friday afternoon. Week is over. MJ Morning Show's done for the week. Date for lunch. Safety Harbor, woman finds a message in a bottle that goes back to World War II now.
Oh, that's nothing compared to what the big one was last week, right?
Oh, well, no. This is a great story. World War II. The bottle was found by a person in Safety Harbor.
Or the D-Day invasion plans or something?
The bottle had sand inside. There was a stick. There was some kind of a weighted ball. There was a bullet casing.
God.
And a letter. And it looks like the letter was written by a Navy sailor who was stationed up in my neck of the woods where I grew up my formative years in the Virginia Beach, Norfolk area. It looks like the letter was a U.S. Navy sailor that was stationed at the Norfolk Naval Base, at the U.S. Naval Amphibious Training Base, Little Creek, Norfolk. Wow. And that the letter was written during the final months of the big WWII. Yeah. Hey, listen, greatest generation, man.
Oh, yeah.
Greatest generation. I mean, I so admire those that fought for this country during the big World War II, the big WWII. I personally, I'm a WW because I say, working for a radio station, I've always hated the DJs or the on-air talents that can't say W. W. It's
yeah.
W.
Yeah.
Like WRBQ HD1 Tampa, a Beasley Media Group station.
It's a double and a U is what it is.
Yeah, it's exactly W.
Yeah.
And there are so many people that mispronounce. Anyway, a lot of you hear, oh yeah, WW2. But anyway, this is an amazing story. Suzanne Flement Smith is her name, and she was just like doing like a nice civic duty and picking up trash on the Safety Harbor shoreline, and she finds this glass bottle and then sees that it has stuff inside. Now, some of the letter is legible, some of it is faded. It partially reads, Dear Lee, received your letter yesterday. Was glad to hear from you. The letter is dated March 4th, 1945. Yeah, Channel 8 did a whole piece on this. And it looks like it was a letter between friends. We were just talking about, as a family, how it's human history and how it kind of brings history to life is what this woman said to Channel 8,
Hold on,
Suzanne Flement Smith.
You say this is a letter between friends.
Yeah.
And the most efficient way to send this letter was by dropping it in the ocean.
Yes, most efficient way was
Message in a
bottle. Message. Listen, this is back during WW2, man. Message in a bottle, found in Safety Harbor.
It's a good second verse.
You like that?
I do.
Yeah. Look at that.
So it must have circled around the Atlantic Ocean a couple of times, and then
Took
it
a
hooked
big trip.
around the tip of Florida and then into Pinellas County.
So the woman, Suzanne Flement Smith, she told Channel 8 in the interview that 5 minutes before she found the bottle, a guy said, "Hey, find any treasures yet?" And then she finds this like treasure bottle just a couple of minutes later.
That guy was the Safety Harbor creep. He just walks up to everybody. Hey, find any treasures yet? Hey.
Man, I think that's a great story.
Hey, Roxanne, you find any treasures yet?
No.
I mentioned rage rooms earlier
Yeah.
during the program.
Yeah, I was in reference to me.
And we don't we have a couple of rage rooms here in the Tampa Bay area?
That's the next thing they're going to build in this building for us is, we have the massage chair, we have the pool table, a rage room is next.
So if there's more reductions in force and layoffs, that you just go to the rage room? Is that it?
When there's just all AI working here, it'll be the robot rage room.
So I just typed in rage rooms near me, and Smashbox 20.
That is in Clearwater.
I play on Matchbox 20. Very funny.
Then you have Smashbox or Smash Room of Tampa. Then you have Twisted Frenzy Rage Room. That's in Port Richey. So you've got numerous rage rooms in Tampa Bay. And that's where you go in, you pay a fee, and you get to just smash the crap out of
There's a
stuff.
bunch of them. Frustration Station, I Smash Tampa.
Wait, there's even more. How many are there?
I mean, maybe 6.
Hold on.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah, look, there's a lot of rage rooms
I mean,
locally.
I don't know if that's a lot or not, but I mean, 7 in the Bay Area sounds like a lot.
You know what? I have my own because when Doug remodels a house, And if we're just going to go, wipe it out and do a tear down, he lets me and the girls go in there and just do stuff like hammers and kick through doors.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
Mhm.
So I brought up rage rooms for some reason earlier in the show, but I knew that I had a rage room story, and I've got a question. If you win a $2 billion Powerball prize, why the hell would you be seen coming out of an L.A. area rage room?
You know what?
And, of course, you know who I'm talking about.
Well, money doesn't buy happiness. That's number one.
I'm
reason
talking
why.
about Edwin Castro.
Yep.
That dude that won the $2 billion Powerball. And, of course, he's been challenged, and he's got a couple of guys that said that it's not his. They won. The whole story. But Edwin Castro, by the way, he's being seen with, like, a different blonde all the time. Apparently.
Really? That's shocking.
Apparently, Edwin Castro is exercising his ability now to get hot blondes. Now,
but not exercising.
Yeah, he's not. He's still apparently eating a lot of the earnings and the winnings that he had with Powerball.
All right, I think you are mixing up what the definition of a rage room is. You're thinking it's some kind of therapeutic program. It's a fun night out of smashing crap.
No, for many people, it is therapeutic.
Okay, no, that's not what these businesses are.
No, listen, it's both. If you need to take out aggression, you can go to a rage room and smash TVs and glass panels and lamps.
That's not the business model.
Throw dishes. Wait a minute. Or, listen, there are clearly some people that need to get some rage. They're called rage rooms.
Because it's like axe throwing. It's a social activity.
But then there are many that go, yes, they're not necessarily angry and want to just kill stuff. It's just, it's entertainment.
The therapeutic rooms are called rubber rooms, and they're in facilities with a little window in the door, and they straitjacket you. Those people are nuts.
All right.
This is something we would do as a team building activity or something, or for friends.
Yes. For most people, probably it's just entertainment. But some people, I think they really want to just exercise some rage without busting their own crap at their own house. But,
I'm so angry, but I don't want to ruin my own crap.
I'm going to smash my television.
So mad at you. I wish there was a place I could go just to destroy stuff and leave with no consequences.
I just thought it was funny that I saw a story that the $2 billion Powerball winner, Edwin Castro, was seen coming out of an L.A. rage room with a new mystery blonde.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the outside of Smashbox 20, and it says, smash your anger, frustration, stress, and anxiety away.
Yeah, and you're yelling at me for describing it exactly the way I just described it.
However, my insurance does not cover this as therapy. It's not that.
All right. Now, I don't think I'm going out on a limb that Edwin Castro did not get many hot California blondes prior to winning $2 billion in Powerball.
So now he's seeing what that what that is like.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Or what that likes.
Well, there you go. But I just thought it was interesting that, he's coming out of a rage room. I have a friend of mine, and, I had this item earlier in the week. I just didn't get around to it. That's why, you got to listen to the whole week, every show, every hour, every minute of this program. I wanted to get this on before we shut things down for the week. And in about an hour from now, we still have an hour to go. A friend of mine who lives nearby in South Tampa, where I live, he also has a condo in Manhattan, on the east side of Manhattan. On the east side of Manhattan. Back in the... Remember that song, The Night Chicago Died? Remember that? That was the east side of Chicago. All right, so...
What a terrible reference. That's the dumbest reference you've ever had. I mean, you have some weird ones, but that was the weirdest.
A friend of mine has a condo on the east side of Manhattan, and it turns out that it's the same building where David Copperfield used to live. Oh. David Copperfield, the magician. I've heard for several years what a nightmare David Copperfield has been as far as a tenant. He's owned like the penthouse, like the whole top floor of this exclusive, condo building. And I've heard several stories that he had a massive leak in his apartment. And
couldn't you make it go away?
Listen to me.
Disappear?
And the leak trickled down and ruined a whole bunch of apartments on the floors below him. So people were already pissed off at David Copperfield. Then there was some
He's
issue.
no magician. He should have been able to fix that.
There was some issue where all the windows on his upper unit had to be replaced, and they had to like bring in helicopters to like put in his new window. Yeah, it's crazy. But listen to this. I knew that there were huge problems, but my friend swore me to secrecy. And he's like, man, you can't talk about it. But he would tell me that David Copperfield, the magician, is like this nightmare tenant inside or owner inside this building. Well, guess what happened this week? Story comes out. Magician David Copperfield sued by New York City Condo Board for trashing and neglecting his $7 million Manhattan penthouse. Yeah, he can't make this one disappear, apparently, folks. He can't go abracadabra, poof. Yeah, this is from the New York Post. Famed magician David Copperfield is a negligent neighbor who left his ritzy Midtown penthouse in shambles. And the mess is so ridiculously bad that it threatens the building's structural integrity, his condo board claims in a new $2.5 million lawsuit. The Galleria Condominium Board, I think my friend is even on the board.
Oh, great.
The Galleria Condominium Board attributed much of the damage to Copperfield's own neglect, such as when illegal and ineffective plastic plumbing led his rooftop pool to burst. Oh, that's what it was. Yeah. He had a private rooftop pool.
All right, you made it sound like it was like a bathroom leak or his bathtub.
Oh, I forgot. No,
his pool's a different story. That's really funny.
Yeah, so this is refreshing my memory here. So his rooftop pool burst in 2015, and it sent destructive torrents of water into homes 30 stories below. I know that the several floors right below it had like serious damage. Or when a valve failed in the then abandoned unit last December, sending another deluge of water into the elevator shafts, hallways, and other condos. Luckily, my friend's condo is, I think, like 8 or 9 floors below his, and
didn't it hit his?
Yeah, his unit did not get water damaged. But I've known about David Copperfield and the nightmare this dude is in this building in New York. I've known this for years. I think it's going back to at least 2015 that my friend told me about this.
Whatever happened with all those allegations? There were like 16 allegations of him drugging women.
Oh, the Me Too stuff.
Yeah, he was like the original, like before Bill Cosby.
Yeah, you know what? We haven't heard
abracadabra.
Yeah,
go away.
Yeah, we haven't heard anything else really about that, have we? But there were accusations along those lines against David Copperfield as well. So the 2 different incidents have caused lingering damage, compromised the structural integrity of the 55-story luxury complex at East 57th Street, which Copperfield abruptly deserted in 2018. Rather than moving out in a safe and orderly fashion, Copperfield trashed the unit. Since then, Copperfield has allowed the unit to dissolve into a state of utter disrepair. Shocking photos attached to the suit illuminate the depths of the wreckage to the apartment, which Copperfield bought for $7.4 million in 1997, including several shots of paint peeling away. The walls look awful. Ceilings look awful. Look, there appears to be like structural crumbling inside the unit, badly stained floors. I mean, it is a wreck, and he just walked away from the damn thing. So now he's getting sued by the condo board of this building, and my friend owns a condo in the building.
Wow!
So, yeah, he told
you had the scoop on that.
He swore me to secrecy years ago not to talk about it, and now
you should call him and say, you know what, you could have let me break this David Copperfield story.
Yeah, that's true. So I should be angry at my friend.
You should be angry at your friend.
What kind of friend are you?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you let the New York Post get the story and not me get the story. So I should be. I should defriend. Not befriend him. I should defriend him. Is that what you're saying? All right, 8:52 at the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. That brings to a close over an hour and 20 minutes. It's like an hour and 25 minutes of nonstop MJ right there with quality broadcast entertainment. Hey, we've got about an hour to go, and we're not slowing down. Got a lot of stuff on the way. I've got a great celebrity pile we got to get to. Oh, I have the dumbest arson story you've ever heard. You're not going to believe what this woman did with gasoline. This is an insane story. So that's coming up in just a few minutes here. Also, I have an update on the latest Costco story, all right? And also, have you heard of West Elm? You know the store West Elm?
Yeah. Their couches, to me, I always picture them, they're sleek and they're kind of low to the ground.
Hold on to that thought. We have a West Elm story, and I once had my very own West Elm nightmare. It was a nightmare on West Elm Street. Yeah. I had my very own nightmare on West Elm Street.
Terrifying.
So hang on. We'll get to all this. Oh, there's a big stove recall. And man, we got a lot to get to in the final hour of the MJ Morning Show coming up in minutes. The Cake Girl. Just was checking email, my MJ at mjmorningshow.com email. And again, I get great stuff from you, the listener. If you have any gossip, any inside information, a comment about the program, if you want to communicate with me, it's private email. It's me only that checks it. MJ at mjmorningshow.com. If you ever have a hot tip, you ever have anything I need to know, and you want it to remain confidential, I assure you 100% you can email me in total confidence. If you want to give me something anonymously for me to broadcast, I'm happy to do it and keep your name out of it. So I was just checking email, MJ at mjmorningshow.com. And I got a note from Michael, and Michael says, hey, you were talking earlier about the female diver that hit her feet on the platform, and she got a 0.0. Ugh. And he said to me, remember Greg Louganis
Oh, yeah.
hitting his head on the high diving board years ago? Yep.
Well, you know, Greg Louganis, one thing about him, I read a story that he said he would never, ever watch that dive. Like
Well,
it happened and he would never watch it.
Hang on. His head came off.
No, it didn't. I know my Greg Louganis facts and history.
How did he do an interview afterward? Because his head snapped off. Like a Barbie doll.
Yeah.
Just came right off.
He was like, he would never. It's just a powerful thing when you think about it. He's like, I would never watch that.
I've got the audio of that. Hang on. Here it is right here. Yeah, that was his head coming off
Popped
after
right off.
popped right off.
He said you can't watch that because you can't put a negative image like that in your head, or you would never be able to do what you do well again.
It is 9:07 at the MJ Morning Show. New research shows that watching just 8 minutes of TikTok can have immediate negative consequences.
Oh, my God. I've watched 8 minutes of TikTok during the show already. And I just saw a guy doing backflips with his dog that were hysterical.
Yeah, so what it is, it's going to be a variety of TikToks, cited from being a propaganda and a data collection, a spy operation of the Chinese government. And keep in mind that Congress has banned TikTok in the country. The president signed it. And listen, all the data, they have access to all the data on your phone, and the Chinese government has all of the data available to them through the parent company ByteDance. So now it's being appealed, and there's a time period, and this is going to throw down in the next year and a half or so, but TikTok has to be sold to a non-Chinese company, like an American company, or be banned in the United States. But listen to this. A steady diet of weight loss TikToks could be extremely detrimental to your psyche, to your mental health. If you're on TikTok, especially people that watch weight loss, and they're saying even some pro-anorexia online content, that it can damage a woman's mental state, self-esteem, increase the risk of eating disorders after just 8 minutes. Telling you right now that there is so much misinformation, disinformation. Social media is absolutely a net negative in this world, and we're hooked on it. We're addicted to it. I've made it, I think, pretty clear in the past that I am only on social media because of the radio show, because of my career, because social media is used by me and others to, work as a companion to the show, to as an advertising tool, as an engagement tool. But if I did not do this radio show, if I didn't do the MJ Morning Show, if I were not a broadcaster, I'm telling you right now, if I was in a field where I didn't need social media, I would absolutely shut it out of my life. I would not be using it at all.
You know what really annoys me?
Why'd you turn your mic off?
Because I cleared my throat.
All right.
It
Gotta
annoys
turn your mic back on.
Or I just scream or sound really
Just
low.
just shout across into my mic.
Okay. So I get all these ads on IG, and I never click on them, but everything is about, oh, you have to improve how you look, get rid of wrinkles, all this stuff. And I know they're, hitting my demo. And it's just it exhausts me every time I see something telling me how to lose wrinkles without Botox or this. It just exhausts me, and I can see exactly how people would feel if they're battling weight issues, if they're constantly bombarded with stuff on how to be thinner.
We've had innumerable stories on this show over the last number of years about how this has created body dysmorphia for teenage girls. Listen, it's men and women, it's girls and boys, but I think a lot of young girls, teenage girls, have been affected. You have all these videos that pop up where they're using filters. They're not showing their real bodies, their real faces. Hey, we know somebody that is a pretty young woman or a pretty woman that continues to use all kinds of filters on pictures and videos. And, you look at the pictures and videos online and it doesn't even remotely look like the person in real life.
That's not how you really look.
And the person in real life is attractive. Just leave yourself alone and stop putting all these stupid filters on you.
Well, I understand why people do this because, especially as a woman, you're judged for your age, you're judged for everything about you physically, more so than men. That's just the way that it is. And I will not take a picture in bad lighting. I'm not going to take a picture of myself that looks just like horrible and post it. I mean, I'll do silly stuff on here and people can screen grab it all they want.
I just took a picture of Roxanne. She looks awful. I'm going to post.
They can,
oh my
screen
God.
grab it and do what they want with it and have
You look
fun.
like the bride of Frankenstein right now. I'm going to post the picture right now on my social media.
Okay, good for
I'm
you.
kidding. You look fine. You look great.
But my point is it is a presentation vehicle. It is a place where you're putting out visual images and people are going to judge you.
Would you like a free remedy on how to get rid of wrinkles?
No, I get bombarded with that crap all the time. I don't want it.
For media, put on weight. Just pop it right out.
I'm not looking to get rid of
the
wrinkles.
Wrinkles will fill out.
Right.
The wrinkles will fill out.
Let me ask you a question. Are you looking to get chlamydia?
Well, that's popping up in my feed as well.
In fact, it's like, hey, everyone's getting chlamydia, and here's how to get chlamydia.
Yeah.
Is it back?
No, I'm kidding.
It's all the rage.
I'm joking. All right, moving along. This is the dumbest arson story that I've seen in a long time. A woman in Oregon, a woman driving a bakery van, clearly a van owned by a bakery to deliver their baked goods.
You see him around town.
Allegedly lit a cigarette while using a hose to siphon gas out of a U-Haul vehicle last week, charged with second-degree arson after at least one and possibly two U-Haul vehicles were destroyed by fire.
Oh, no.
All right, this is insane. According to a probable cause affidavit, Jennifer Denise Holmes, 47, who drives a van that has Nana's Sweet Treats on the side, was arrested on August 3rd in relation to a July 31st fire. Roseburg, Oregon police were called to the U-Haul business parking lot on Northeast Stevens Street.
Have you seen the video?
Yeah, I have. Around 5:30 a.m. for the report of a fire. The U-Haul was fully engulfed, according to the report. The fire then spread to a second U-Haul van. The van was burned out. Then the drivetrain got burned out. The van then started to roll. A flaming ball of U-Haul van started to roll because the transmission got burned and became disengaged, and then crashed into a tree, lights the tree on fire. My God. Authorities could see a heavily burned gas cap, insulated electrical cord. Security footage showed this woman's van in the area reading Nana's Sweet Treats on the side of the van. You know what she was doing? She was going to the U-Haul lot at 5 o'clock in the morning to steal gas out of the U-Haul trucks parked on the lot. Instead of going to get gas at a gas station and pay for it, her scheme was to siphon gas out of the U-Haul sitting on the lot, waiting for rental.
That's a pretty good scam if you're not smoking.
Yeah.
But it turns out while she's siphoning the gas, first of all, would you think for a minute, if you were asked, all right, person is siphoning gas at 5:30 in the morning at a U-Haul, is it a man or is it a woman? I mean, 99% I'm going with it's a guy. And then it turns out it's a woman and she's driving a bakery van? What the
Crazy.
hell? I told you, this is like the nuttiest arson story. And then you add to the fact a woman in a bakery van is stealing gas from a U-Haul parking lot. And then this moron is smoking a cigarette while siphoning the gas? Oh, my God. So
have you ever siphoned gas before?
I've never. I've seen people do it, and then they end up with a mouthful of gas, and they're like spitting it out. It's like, oh, my God. Yeah, she was questioned because her van was seen in the area on surveillance video, and she admitted under questioning they put her in that police questioning room, bright light,
just a little table,
camera rolling. I don't know if she was chained to the table, but she admitted siphoning the gas from the U-Haul and then lighting a cigarette at the same time. What kind of an imbitard are we talking about here? What kind of an idiot?
Wow.
Yeah. Charged with first-degree criminal mischief, reckless burning. I mean, this is about the dumbest thing I've seen in a while.
So if you ever end up in that police interrogation room, MJ.
Yep.
The only thing you should really do is ask for a lawyer, right? Because they're trying to put you together. Right
you don't say a word. Listen, I don't plan on getting arrested. And listen, I'm a friend of law enforcement.
It's never the plan.
Listen,
however,
I have done plenty of ride-alongs. But listen, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to an attorney. If you can't afford an attorney, one will be provided to you. Those are the famous Miranda rights from the Miranda case, big Supreme Court case. So we have constitutional rights. And if you're in trouble, you might be guilty as hell. You might deserve the long arm of the law to swat you. You might deserve a long prison sentence, but you still constitutionally, and that's how I roll, the Constitution of the United States of America, you have a constitutional right. You have legal rights. And yes, you should, Fester, yes, you should seek the advice of attorney. You have the right to remain silent because anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. Now, it's always great when bad guys just start blabbing and it is used against them if they're guilty of the crime, but you do have a constitutional right. Did I answer your question?
Thanks, Judge.
Are you ready now for Nightmare on West Elm Street? Do we have a West Elm store here in?
I know we used
do we have one
to
in Midtown?
Hyde Park.
Hold on, Fester, look up West Elm Midtown. Is there a West Elm like right across from the Colony Grill at Midtown, or is that something? Oh no, that's Ballard Designs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I type in West Elm, Tampa.
Hyde Park.
Yeah,
Hyde Park Village.
Yeah, okay,
it's
so
still there.
There is a West Elm in Hyde Park Village.
Opens at 10 a.m.
In right off Swan.
Yep.
Thanks for the hours.
Roxanne's giving the hours like she's working the afternoon shift.
Thanks for the hours. Do you happen to have the hours of Restoration Hardware while you're at it?
Are they still down there in Hyde Park?
I don't know. I think they are.
I haven't been to Hyde Park.
I thought Restoration Hardware was international.
Did they? Well, they used to be in Hyde Park. Did they move out of Hyde Park to international?
I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway,
I buy my furniture at Big Lots.
All right. So let me tell this story first, and then I say nightmare on West Elm Street. We had a nightmare. Man, I even posted it on like social media. We had the craziest crap happen to us at West Elm. But the reason why I'm bringing this up is this woman goes in to purchase a couch, loves this West Elm couch. Right?
Okay.
She goes in to purchase it. She's in there for 53 minutes and nobody comes up to her. But wait a minute.
Was she kind of putting the vibe out that she wanted to? I mean, I'm sure she was.
You're going to love this. The West Elm customer had the time and patience to politely read the store manager for his staff's lack of customer service skills. All right? Customer service 101. You greet the customer when they come in, right? Listen, hey, can I help you with anything? Oh, no, I'm just browsing. Well, listen, browse. If there are any questions, please, I'm happy to help you. So this woman has her eyes set on this West Elm couch and goes in, never greeted. No one ever approaches her.
Wow.
Yeah. And Leah Jones is her name, and she documented how it took nearly an hour for an employee to acknowledge her at all. So she wrote on social media, "Come with me for piss poor West Elm experience. 53 minutes of no customer service." That's the overlay on the video that she posted. And listen, this is really a lesson for any store.
Yeah.
Greet somebody. How do you walk into a store and nobody helps you for like 53 minutes? So she's been looking at this couch, been on her radar for quite some time. She goes in to test it out, look at the fabric swatches to see which one. So she walks into the store and she notes that there's like nobody around. She says it's a Tuesday afternoon, not exactly peak hours at West Elm. She said there were several employees in the store. None of them had come up to help her or even greet her.
Yeah, just say hello and welcome to the place.
But it gets even better. And when I saw this, I'm like, you know what? I gotta do the story and tell my West Elm story while I'm at it. So she says to herself after a long amount of time, "Do I even want this couch anymore?"
She talked herself out of it?
Wait a minute. After 10 minutes, she's like, "No one's helping me. No one's coming up to me. I mean, this is 10 minutes." She's finally there for 53 minutes. And this is why I love this story. She said that I knew that the customer service was bigger than just me because I sat there and watched that happen to multiple other people. She's a black woman, but she said that she noticed that other non-black people had come in and they were all ignored. So it wasn't a race or a color thing.
Oh, we ignore everybody around here. I don't talk to any customer.
So it wasn't a race deal. So finally, she's totally frustrated. This is like almost 50 minutes in, an employee finally walked up to her and she's like, "What's going on here? No one's helping me." The employee says that, "You know what? This exact same thing happened to me before he was an employee. This exact same thing happened to me when I first walked into a West Elm." He had the same experience of nobody helping him, nobody coming up to him. Wait a minute. This is the kicker. It turns out the guy's the store manager. What?
The guy responsible for customer service, kind of?
The store manager says, "Oh, yeah, you know what? This happened to me the first time I ever walked into West Elm. I was totally ignored. Nobody helped me." So 53 minutes later, he says, "Yeah, this happened to me." And he's the store manager. So why would you let anyone else experience that?
You know what's weird is I'm having this flashback right now to the time that I went to West Elm, and I feel like I was sitting on the couches for a long time. Now that you mention it. I
Were
mean,
you
this
there
is a
for an
while
hour?
ago. I don't know that it was an hour, but maybe that's part of their thing. They let you, like, really builds it up. Like, do you really want this couch? Like, sit here and get comfortable on it.
I mean, it's one thing to say publicly, "Hey, listen, we're not going to hound you.
Yeah.
Look around. We're here to help you when you need help."
Right.
But that's not what they do.
All right, so here's the deal. So we had a West Elm experience. Michelle bought 2 desk lamps from West Elm for the kids. This is when we were up in New York. And these were kind of cool mechanical-looking desk lamps. Turns out we get a notice. I can't remember how we were alerted.
A recall?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
There was a Consumer Product Safety Commission recall. Festa, do a quick search. What time is it? All right, we're going to be a little late here. All right, quickly.
West Elm.
Go to just type in West Elm lamp recall CPSC, Consumer Product Safety Commission. Lamp recall. And this is back right here. Look at this. Industrial task lamp. Yep, that's it right there. So in December 2017, West Elm recalled about 43,000 of these lamps.
That's a lot
It
of lamps.
was the industrial task table lamps. Due to the risk of electrical shock and the adjustable joint potentially cutting or fraying and causing a fire. So the recall applied to lamps sold between June 2014 and October 2017. There were also USB ports on the base and everything. So, Michelle, of the how many lamps were there?
47,000?
Of the 43,000 lamps, we had 2 of them. So I bring them back to West Elm, and it was like a nightmare. It's like nobody knew, well, you can't give your money back. I'm like, wait a second. They're recalled.
Yeah.
They're on your website. And it took me weeks to, like, I left the lamps there, and I said, I took a picture with an employee standing next to them at the West Elm on Broadway, like 76th and Broadway in Manhattan. And it was like a nightmare. And I dubbed it Nightmare on West Elm Street. Seriously. And it took weeks and weeks to get our money back. It was surreal dealing with them. It's like, you guys have the CPSC, Consumer Product Safety Commission, issued the recall, and it's even on your website. You're acknowledging this. And it was like, I couldn't get anyone that had any knowledge whatsoever to give, sir, you need your receipt there. I'm like, no, we don't have the receipt. These are your lamps. We're bringing them back. So finally, we got them. It was just a crazy nightmare dealing with West Elm.
It sounds like a great place to work if you don't want to work.
At that point, I wish I had like Freddy Krueger knife fingers. You know, like,
just cut up all the couches on the way out,
slashing all the furniture on the way out of the place. All right, 9:26 at the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. I got a lot of stuff in the final segment. The final chunk of the MJ Morning Show on a Friday is next. Don't move. Guys, Meredith came in the studio like an hour ago and said that there were going to be all kinds of free sub sandwiches for all the morning shows, that some new sub shop was bringing stuff by. And, hey, Meredith, yeah, I'm just talking about you. Where are the subs? One? Wait a sec. One sub.
One sub?
Well, everybody else came over to me and
wait a sec.
they were stealing sandwiches.
So
but you and Fester can try it and share one.
Yeah.
So like Lady in the Tramp style?
Yeah.
Meredith says, hey, this is an hour ago. Hey, guys, got a sub place coming in, subs for all the radio stations. And during our last break, I'm looking around, and the cupboard is bare.
Well, they were standing there. We were standing there for a while, but you guys were in the middle of a segment. And then I asked Andrew when you were going to break, and he said 15 more minutes. I was like, crap. Okay. So then I went down to Maxima, our other sister stations. But anyway, I do have 2 sandwiches, but one's for Roxanne. So.
Wait, so you're only...
I got it. Thank you.
There you go. See, she got it.
I was going to say, you're only holding one.
That's correct.
So wait a minute. You gave Roxanne her own solo sandwich.
That's my girl.
And you expect... Fester and I to eat off of each end?
Oh, it's cut in half, gentlemen.
Yeah,
first of all,
two men and a sub. You ever see that video?
I'd watch it.
Yeah, you would.
You would.
So, what's the name of the sub place?
Okay, so this is Gateway Subs. They have 5 different locations.
Right.
They just opened up another location in downtown Channel Side. But there's one on 4th Street right across from LA Fitness. They're known for their high quality sandwiches. And then also they'll make it crunchy and add chips on there. It's really good.
Nice.
Why don't you tell them MJ and I'll go in person? We'll
Okay.
show up at the shop.
Yeah, definitely.
We have an actual sub here.
Wait, who wants it?
This is good.
I
really
love-
yummy.
It's very good. It's fresh. They make all that fresh. They make their own chicken and everything.
Well, thank you.
Do they slaughter their own chickens in the back?
Listen, I love an entrepreneur and a growing business, and I love their blue and white checkered wrapper.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
very
It's
nice,
3 or
very
4
nice.
best friends, and they decided to invest and make
that's
their
very
own
nice.
sandwich shop. Anyway, so are you going to, that's an Italian. Do you like Italian?
Yeah.
Are you going to eat it?
Yes.
You got to take a bite.
Well, I'm
doing it now.
Is it good?
Let me just. Roxanne's taking a bite.
There you go.
I'll go to the shop and go to get my own sub. As I appreciate
Oh,
it.
you're not going to share? MJ?
No, I will.
It's all right.
Yes, I will. I will break this in half, and Fester
he's
can
gonna
have
break
half.
bread with you.
Also, I don't want to fill up because Michelle and I have a lunch date at the Nona Slice House up in Safety Harbor today.
Give it to Fester then. You're going to lunch.
Well, I want to try it.
I feel very bloated right now.
No, you don't.
I've been feeling bloated for 28 years.
I have to put mayonnaise on everything, like every sandwich. I have to have mayonnaise. This
Same.
doesn't even have it.
I'm
And
It's still
the
good.
flavors are so good.
Hey, I'm guessing. Listen, I had this planned. It's just kind of coincidental,
Right.
But a third person has died in that whole boar's head thing.
Oh, man. I
Yeah.
love boar's head too.
Let's talk more
Yeah.
about processed meats.
Well, no,
Death
but
by processed meats.
I walked into no, I didn't walk into Publix.
I sent you the picture.
Oh, you sent it to me.
I went to the
Yeah.
Publix right here by the radio station to get a pub sub.
Fester sent me a picture from Publix where they make the pub subs at the deli.
Yeah.
And Fester, it had the whole list of like all these Boar's Head
Yeah,
products.
these subs will no longer be available or until
well,
further notice.
until they like clean out the listeria and people aren't dying.
I
Listen,
thought Florida wasn't involved in the
No.
locations because I looked it up.
no, that thing expanded. The original stuff was like 238,000
like in
pieces.
the mid-Atlantic was like the first states.
and then it expanded to like 7 million pounds. I mean, do you know how many pounds, 7 million pounds of like roast beef and liverwurst is?
It's not that. It's not roast beef.
It's ham.
It's
I'm
ham.
sorry. I'm sorry. Ham
Ham and liverwurst.
Right. Yeah.
Liverwurst was on the
Yeah.
list.
Liverwurst was on the
It was
list.
on the list.
I do like a good liverwurst sandwich every so often.
So good.
Yeah.
I like to eat somebody's liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
All right, gentlemen and beautiful lady, enjoy your sandwich.
Thank you. Have a
Let me
nice
know what
weekend.
You think once you actually open it up.
Have a nice
Dad was
weekend,
gonna get
Meredith.
half of this. Now he's not. Now he's not.
All right. I will absolutely take a bite. No, but listen, Boar's Head's a good company. Boar's Head is a great brand.
This is the worst thing
But
to happen to
it
them.
is. This could be the worst thing to happen. I like Boar's Head. We buy Boar's Head. Like I said in the past, we don't do a lot of the deli meats these days. We'll Julian does like the country ham, or I don't know, whatever the ham is, and Michelle will get like a half pound of chipped ham every once in a while or slices. But we buy Boar's Head cheese all the time. I really like the Boar's Head white American cheese, not the low fat, but you got to get the whole milk. It's got the burgundy wrapper. The Boar's Head white American cheese is great. And I've always been a fan of the Boar's Head brand. Just, my lifestyle, we don't do a lot of, if I want a sub, I'm going to go to, a sub place, and I like the local places like, Mickey Subs.
Yeah.
Mickey Subs down.
But if he uses Boar's Head, I don't know if he does or doesn't.
He uses some Boar's Head, I believe.
Yeah.
But obviously those, whatever those affected meats are not being sold and they're not being used.
So the Publix sign that I saw.
But listen, Publix is a huge Boar's Head vendor.
Yeah.
And listen, Boar's Head is a great brand. It's a great product. And somebody didn't clean something right at the plant in Virginia where they're making some of this product.
So that's how that happens. It's a hygiene issue, basically.
When you hire somebody called Listeria Larry, what do you expect?
Yeah, you don't want Larry Listeria working in your plant. It's
when
funny.
you interview someone for that job, you have to look under their fingernails.
No, we're not hiring your family.
It's actually not funny because a third person has died.
That's horrible.
9 more have fallen ill in the whole Boar's Head deli meat listeria outbreak, according to the CDC. Latest fatality in Virginia, following deaths in Illinois and New Jersey from the tainted meat outbreak. The deceased have ranged in age from 32 to 94. Wow.
That's just one of those things. It's so horrible. You don't think to yourself that could ever happen to you. You never think, okay, I'm going to eat a sandwich and
You're right.
I'm going to die because of this.
I never think that Larry Listeria worked the factory that sliced this ham.
No.
You know what? You got to also make sure you don't hire Sam Salmonella.
That son of a bitch, I'll tell you right now.
Yeah.
He's, oof.
Yeah, keep those guys out of the factory. Listen, they'll get it sorted out, but, hey, listen, some great companies have had some contamination issues and some bacterial issues over the years. Listen, Boar's Head will, they'll figure it out. But,
I have the resume here for Bruce Botulism.
Oh,
Bruce Botulism.
Bruce Botulism. Wow.
Bruce Botulism, Sam Salmonella, or Larry Listeria.
Oh, how about Franny Fecal Matter? Has she applied for a job?
Yeah.
Yes, online.
Franny Fecal Matter?
Yes.
Bruce Botulism also does Botox, so that's cool.
There is
That's his father.
There's a recall. Speaking of the Consumer Product Safety Commission, and remember I told my West Elm story how we had 2 of the lamps that were recalled back in 2017, and the Consumer Product Safety Commission has also issued a recall on 1.1 million Samsung slide-in electric ranges.
Like stoves, ovens?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, do you know how many stoves, how many ovens 1.1 million is?
Exactly.
It's 1.1 million.
Yeah, I know exactly how many that
no,
is.
but I'm trying to. If you like lined up 1.1 million boxes of stoves, I mean,
it'd be here in Orlando.
It'd be more than that.
It seems like a lot.
I think you could line up 1.1 million. What do you figure? Each box that the stove or each stove is, what would you say, like 36 inches?
Okay.
You line those things up. I mean, and 1.1 million? I think you could stretch from here to like Richmond, Virginia, maybe.
6.6 million feet?
That's a lot of freaking, give me that in miles.
How many?
Six.
Miles is
What the hell are we doing? All right, so here's the deal. 1.1 million Samsung slide-in electric ranges have been recalled because there were reports that people and pets are unintentionally activating the stovetops. And like there are fires. Specifically, the front-mounted knobs on the electric slide-in range models can be activated by accidental contact by humans or pets, which poses a potential fire hazard, according to the notice. To date, this is significant. I mean, it's 1.1 million stoves sold, but Samsung has received over 300 reports of unintentional activation of the front-mounted knobs by humans and pets since 2013.
Tell those dogs to get off the appliances.
The ranges involved in the recall have been involved in about 250 fires. At least 18 of these fires caused extensive property damage, like burning the freaking house to the ground.
6.6 million feet is 1,250 miles.
Oh, my God.
Here to New York.
So wait a minute, from here to beyond New York, that's Boston. You can line up the number of ranges being recalled from Tampa to Boston?
All the way down the eastern seaboard.
Oh, my God.
That's a lot of
That's
ovens.
a lot of freaking ovens.
Wow.
Jeez. Involves about 1.129 million. So 1,120,905 ranges are being recalled. You know, there's a famous video. Have you ever seen the dog? It's like a Labrador. It's a kind of a larger dog that jumps up on the stove because the owners left, it might have been a pizza box on the stove.
The dogs turn it on. Hit the knob.
The dog jumped up on the stove to grab the pizza from the pizza box, turn the stove on. That's why you never, folks, don't get in the habit of putting anything combustible on an oven top. Oh, I'm not using it now. I can keep this bale of hay on top of my oven or my stove. Yeah, don't do that. There it is.
This is from a month ago on CNN.
No, that happened. This is it's a couple of years old. But looks like a black and white dog.
So there's a more recent story.
Is that another one?
All the stories are from a month ago.
I know there are several of these things. All right, bring up one of the stories here. All right, listen to this. All right, hey,
a couple second commercial.
Yeah.
3, 2,
all right,
1.
Skip the commercial. 3, 2, 1. Okay, skip.
All right, now to some really crazy video out of Colorado. So here's the scene: a dog accidentally set its family's house on fire.
You have to see it to believe it.
Hey.
The home security system caught video of the dog. Look right there on the left.
Oh, I see him.
Perched up on the oven, checking out something on the counter. Then the dog walks away. And you can see it accidentally turn the stove on, catching several boxes sitting on the burner on fire.
Wait a second, that's the stove. Wait a minute.
Oh my God. The whole kitchen, you can see it here.
Go. Let me go back. That's the exact stove.
Several boxes sitting on the burner.
Oh
on
my
fire.
God.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
This could be the dog that started the recall.
Look at this. Look at the stove.
It's identical.
It's this. Look at the picture, Roxanne. Look at the stove.
It's the same thing.
It's a Samsung stove. It's the same damn stove.
Slide-in counter depth stove.
And the owners had
boxes.
Some food boxes.
Maybe a box of pizza or
whatever.
something.
There's another one. There's a whole other video from maybe 5 years ago or more where there's, I think, a cardboard pizza box on a stove. Folks, do not put combustible items on your stovetop. Just leave it off. Have a coffee pot on there or a tea kettle,
The owners were able to put out the flames before the fire department even arrived.
Wow.
All right, there you go.
All right, so that's that story.
It's a nightmare.
And now, folks, do you have one of these ranges? A giant recall. 1.1 million of these damn things.
What do they do?
Sold from May 2013 through August of this year, through right now, Sold between $1,250 and $3,050. Yeah, what are they going to do?
Hey, did you guys say this already?
Wait a second. To remedy the recall, Samsung is offering free knob locks and covers as an added safety measure. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You may have said this. I was shoving a sub in my face and concentrating on how delicious that was.
What's the name of the sub place again?
Why would you...
Gateway Subs.
Gateway Subs.
Gateway Subs.
Yep.
Why would you save or put your boxes on the stove?
I mean, it's just
why
a
would
place.
you store them there?
It's not.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. It's like, why?
Well, but if you have a pizza, if it's pizza night, the stove is essentially an extension of your
No,
counter.
No, you got to get out of that habit. You can't do that.
That's not a good idea.
That is a horrific idea.
Right, but I'm telling you how people think in real life. You don't think your dog is going to turn the stove on.
All right, Fester, I'm breaking off half a sub. Here we go. Take the half a sub.
It's so good.
I just broke it off, so there you go.
This is a gateway sub.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't want it looks great. I don't want to fill up because I'm going for a pizza date at Nona Slice House with Michelle for lunch today. So
it's a really good sub.
Right?
All right.
I think we got to call it a day. Oh, you know what? I teased a couple of things I didn't get to.
Shocking.
What, are you mocking me? Is that a shocking mocking?
Yeah.
I guess we'll do them on Monday. It's nothing crucial. It's good content, but listen, I'll get to it on Monday.
I got to talk to you something about that after the show on Monday.
What?
About Monday. I got to talk to you.
Roxanne will not be here Monday.
Yeah, I'm going to not be here.
Monday is the first day of school, and it's very important for Roxanne.
You're not going to be here, so
you can call me.
They fire Froggy, and just a couple of weeks later, you're going to take a Monday off.
That has nothing to do with
Roxanne. You can call me as much as you want to during the entire morning. You can call me the whole time. I'll just be available for you to call.
Right.
But I know
Surprise!
that when my kids are in counseling X amount of years from now, saying my mom never took me to my first day of school, you guys won't care.
Well, let Daddy take them.
I know.
He's taking them every other day.
We're missing 25% of the show, and now we're going to be missing 50% of the show on
my
Monday.
Kids will appreciate it.
Oh, that's great. Have them send Uncle MJ a thank you note.
Nobody here will care.
All right.
When they're sad about it.
All right, folks. Listen, have a great weekend. We'll see you back here on Monday. Minus Roxanne. Yeah, the show's going to go to hell in a hand. You know what? I don't even know if I can function on Monday.
Let's all take Monday off.
Yeah. You know what? Let's just take Monday off.
Yeah, come on. Why not?
Exactly. All right. I will be here. All right. So it'll just be Fester and me.
Sorry.
Yeah. And Chloe's got a real job now.
Great.
Yeah. All right, folks. Have a great one. We'll see you back here Monday morning. MJ Morning Show on Q105. And hey. Let's be careful out there.